Hey James, you back off night shift yet? I saw your clothes in the washing machine.
Yep, I stopped by at the house to get changed a little while ago. I went straight back to work though. Morning, babe.
Good morning, sweetie. Sorry, I must have been asleep when you got back.
No kidding, you were out like a light.
Henry was crying non-stop throughout the night. I felt like I was getting up every 5 minutes to calm him down. When I finally did get off to sleep, it was already morning.
Sounds like you've been through the mill. I suspected it might have been a rough one for you. That's why I didn't wake you up.
The house is an absolute pigsty, too. Sorry, sweetie, I'll get everything tidied up as soon as I can. Are you hungry? Did you have anything to eat while you were home?
Oh, I had some cup noodles at the office before I came back.
Sorry I didn't have anything ready for you to eat.
Don't sweat it. I'll just grab something from the store on my break. It's no big deal.
If you rushed straight back out to the office after changing clothes, does that mean you still have work left to do?
Yep. I have a bunch of menial computer stuff still left to take care of. You keep hearing all this stuff about how AI is gonna steal our jobs. But I wish I'd hurry up and take this crap off my hands. I'm swamped.
Sounds like you're having a tough time of it, too. Is this a busy time of year for you?
It's less the time of year and more that we're short-staffed right now. 2 of the girls have been away on maternity leave for months now. And Dave fell off a ladder while doing some DIY at his house last week. To make matters worse, we've had 3 resignations in the last month alone. We're stretched to a breaking point.
Are you at least taking enough breaks, or at least fitting naps in every now and then? You're more likely to get into a car accident when you're sleep-deprived, you know. I'm worried about you, sweetie.
It's fine. I still manage to squeeze in a cheeky nap here and there, and I take breaks when I can. The boss said I can have 2 hours to myself to catch up on my sleep at 2 p.m. today, since I stayed up all night at the office last night.
I'm pleased to hear that. But still, 2 hours isn't a lot of sleep after you just stayed up all night. You must be shattered.
Oh, you're right. I could probably use more. But you're hardly sleeping like a princess yourself. Did you even get 2 hours last night?
You do have a point. But still, I'm at home all the time, so I'm fortunate enough to be able to squeeze in a nap whenever Henry dozes off during the day.
That reminds me, have you been able to feed him properly lately? I remember you told me your milkers weren't producing the goods. You went for a massage to try and get things moving again before, right?
Everything seems to be back to normal now. We actually have a lot of milk left over in those bottles in the fridge. I've been gradually moving him onto baby food lately.
Oh, really? I can't believe how fast he's growing up. I barely get to see him all these days. It's kind of eating away at me. I can't help but feel like I'm missing out on his childhood, what with pretty much living at the office. Does he even know I'm his dad anymore?
Of course he does, silly. He always has a big beaming smile on his face whenever you come home.
I hope he's not just doing it out of politeness.
You must be joking, right? He's not even old enough to understand the concept of politeness yet. You're an amazing dad, James. It really means a lot to me that you're thinking of us despite being so busy with work.
You guys are the reason I do it, babe. I'd never be able to endure these ridiculous working hours if not for you two. You give me the strength to carry on.
Thank you, honey. Having you and Henry around helps me power through when times are tough, too.
Sorry I'm not there to help out with things around the house. I know dads are normally supposed to help out with babies and housework and things like that.
It's okay, sweetie. I understand. Your work situation is making that pretty much impossible right now. I'm not gonna lie, though. I might struggle to keep on top of everything if things at work seem like they're gonna carry on like this for a long time. Do you think things might get better soon? If they don't, would you consider finding a new job?
I hate to say it, but there's no end in sight. To be honest with you, babe, I've already been thinking about it. Family time is important to me, and if I carry on not being able to see you guys because they keep making me spend virtually all my waking hours there, I'm gonna start questioning why I'm even working for them in the first place. Thanks for everything that you do, Daisy. I really appreciate you. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you, James. Hey, James, roughly when do you think you'll be done at the office today? I was hoping you could pick up some sports drinks and vitamins from the store on your way home.
Sorry, it's gonna be a while longer yet. I was supposed to be here till 7 p.m., but Reggie from sales called in sick and now I've got to do his night shift. Holy crap, I'm gonna be working for 20 hours straight.
Wow.
Did something happen? Do you feel sick again?
I have a fever again. I think I caught a cold from Henry. He was sniffling and sneezing something chronic for all of last week, remember? It was only a matter of time before I got something.
Ah, damn it. What's your temperature? Did you take it?
It's 38.8 degrees right now.
Wow, that's really high. Do you have chills? Does your fever seem like it's gonna get worse?
I have a feeling it will. I've got a pounding headache and I feel like I could spew up at any minute. I was planning on asking you to watch Henry while I got some sleep after you got home, but it doesn't sound like you're going to be in any position to do that.
I'm so sorry, babe. It really doesn't look like I'm going to be able to break away from this place anytime soon. Can you hold out until tomorrow morning?
Don't worry, I think I can just about power through till then if I really try my hardest. But even still, surely you'll be exhausted when you get home from your night shift. You'll probably be ready for bed yourself.
But you're suffering, babe.
You hardly have it easy yourself either, James. A 20-hour shift? I mean, Jesus Christ. What kind of company do you work for? How can I complain about a cold when you're working so hard for me and Henry?
You're the best wife a guy could ever hope to have, Daisy. I'll be home as soon as I possibly can. I'm sorry I'm working so many hours lately. I feel awful.
It's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. It can't be helped. I'll get through this. You just watch me. Henry's diapers need changing whether I've got a cold or not, so there's nothing else for it but to grit my teeth and power on. There's no denying it. Things are tough for us both right now, but I know we can get through this if we work together. What do you say? Shall we show the world what we're made of?
Yeah, that's the spirit. I'll be home with your sports drinks and vitamins as soon as I get off the night shift. If there's anything else you want me to get, just let me know.
Daisy, how long do you intend on forcing me to wait? Do you know what time it is? Is that Kylie? You're James's sister, right? How come you're messaging me out of the blue? A long time no see. Can I help you with something? You can't be serious. Stop screwing around and come and pick up your kid already. I have work first thing tomorrow. I never agreed to have him until this time, and it's rude of you to assume I would without even saying anything. You have Henry? What? But Henry's asleep here with me. What are you talking about? How can that be? If Henry's with you, then whose kid am I watching? I'll be honest with you, Kylie. I don't have a clue what's going on here. Henry's most definitely here with me. So what's going on? Are you babysitting right now? Yes, I'm watching a little boy James dropped off at my place this morning. He asked me to watch him because he said you and him have plans as a couple today. To be honest, I wasn't super eager about the idea, but he told me you guys have barely had any time to yourselves lately, and it sounded like you could use a break. But then James never came to collect him when he said he would. I tried calling him countless times, but he didn't answer, which is why I'm messaging you now. Oh, I remember now. We exchanged contacts a couple of years back, didn't we? I totally forgot because we never message each other. Forget that. I'm asking you what's going on with this little boy asleep on my sofa. I'm sorry, Kylie, but I don't know what to tell you. Henry's been here at home with me all day. James went to work first thing this morning. He never said anything about going to your place, and we had no plans together today. Oh, wait, what? Whose kid is this then? Whose son have I been looking after all day? Did James really drop him off at your place this morning? Yep, he messaged me out of the blue last night asking if I'd have him today. He never messages me, so that was a surprise in and of itself. Now that you mention it, he did say you and him don't speak that much. Yes, and that was an intentional decision on my part. Really? Do you mind if I ask why? Did something happen between you and James? I'm the kind of person who struggles to say no when people ask me for favors. So me and James having any kind of relationship was never going to work. I got sick of the way he always used to ask me to do things for him. One day it'd be picking up a parcel, the next his suit from the dry cleaners. Sometimes he'd even have me do his grocery shopping. Eventually, I reached my wit's end and told him enough was enough. I told him I wasn't going to let him treat me like his errand girl any longer, and we've barely spoken since. Wow, I had no idea. But seriously, whose kid is this? I could have sworn James said it was your Henry. Did I mishear him? Could it be one of his friends' kids? I'm really not sure. The idea of him leaving one of his friends' kids with his estranged sister strikes me as a little odd. Yeah, you can say that again. It's even weirder that he left whoever's kid this is at your place without so much as a word about it to me. No way. Did James have a baby with someone else behind my back? I really couldn't say. I feel weird even saying it. Surely that's ridiculous, right? Of course it is. There's no way he'd ever do that. I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for this. I don't know, Daisy. I hate to say this, but now that you mention it, maybe that is the most likely explanation for what's going on here. Or rather, it's literally all I can think of. You really think so? One thing's for sure, if that's what's going on, I'll kill him. God damn him. Why does my brother have to be such an asshole? You know what else? He's almost never at home lately. He said it was because things are tough at work, but I'm starting to see it in a different light now. Do you think he really is at work? He's always telling me about how overstretched they are at the office these days, what with things like people going off on maternity leave or calling in sick, and him being left to pick up the pieces. I believed him before because I didn't think I had any reason to doubt him, but now I'm not so sure. I've had my hands so full with looking after Henry and keeping everything at home in order that I've barely even had time to think. If he really does have a kid with someone else, that obviously means he's been cheating on me. I don't think it's out of the question. I got cheated on by an ex-boyfriend once. He gave me the same pack of lies, overtime this, project deadlines that. All the while, he was out on dates with some floozy behind my back. But still, I can't believe this is happening. James is so kind. He always seems to be thinking of me, and he always says the nicest, most thoughtful things. Talk is cheap, Daisy. What is he actually doing? Does he help out around the house or with Henry? No, not at all. But I figured he couldn't help it because things are so hectic for him at work. But that only applies if things really are hectic at work. What's the truth, I wonder? Do you think there's a chance he might just be saying all these nice things to trick you? You know, like keep you sweet so you don't start getting suspicious and questioning his near total absence from your lives? Trick me? Think about it. If he plays the model husband and unfortunate victim of work over text messages, you're less likely to start wondering what he's actually up to when he spends all this time away from the house. If you look at it in terms of what he's actually doing or how much time he actually spends with you, it sounds like it's next to nothing, right? You're right. Actually, listen to this one. So this was last week. I came down with a fever and didn't have the energy to look after Henry like I normally do. James couldn't make it home. But I convinced myself it couldn't be helped because it's not like it was his choice to be at work, and I was sure he'd come home and take over while I rested up if he could. That must have been really difficult for you. The thought of him lying about that is just... Oh my God, that means he'd rather spend time with his lover than look after me while I'm sick? If this is really what's going on, I'll never forgive him. And so you shouldn't. When's he supposed to be getting back tonight? He said he's on the late shift. He said he'd be home sometime after midnight. I see. Daisy, we've got some investigating to do. we're gonna get to the bottom of what's going on with this kid on my sofa, and while we're at it, let's find out if he really is spending all his time at work. James, when are you coming to collect your son? It's 10 p.m. already.
I'll be over at 1 a.m. the latest. Sorry, Kylie, I had no idea we'd be out this late.
Fine, I'm waiting.
I'll be over as soon as I can.
All right. I must say, James, your little boy is so cute, but I can't put my finger on who he looks like. Come to think of it, I'm not so sure he looks like either you or his mom.
Oh, really? You're not? I think he has Daisy's eyes and my nose. Wouldn't you say so? I'm sure he'll start to look more like us when he gets bigger.
You think? It's hard for me to imagine him looking anything like either of you.
Geez, Kylie, he's still just a baby. Give it time. That's just how they are at that age.
You and Daisy are both really good looking, so whoever he ends up taking after, I'm sure he'll be a hit with the ladies. I'm amazed at how well defined and striking his facial features are despite him being so young.
Right? He was always going to be handsome with me and Daisy as his parents.
But is he really your son? I find it hard to believe.
Huh? Of course he's ours. What are you even saying? Wait, are you accusing me of something?
It's only natural your sister would have her doubts, James. Henry's been at home with me all day after all. So go on, let's hear it. Whose kid did you leave with Kylie?
Huh? Who's this?
It's Daisy. Hi.
Are you using my sister's phone? Why would you two be together?
Your sister messaged me, so I went over to her place. Well, who does the kid belong to?
No. Please don't get the wrong idea here, babe. I had my reasons for what I did, I swear.
That doesn't answer my question. You told Kylie the little boy she was watching was our son, Henry, didn't you? You lied. Before you start speaking, I need to make it clear that I'll flip out if you try feeding me any bullshit about him being your friend's son.
No, I'm serious, Daisy. I had my reasons. I'm dealing with a few circumstances right now.
I'll just come straight out with it. You had a kid with another woman behind my back, didn't you?
Oh my god, what? Have you lost your mind? No way!
I see. I guess you won't mind if we do a DNA test then? I hate to accuse you of something like that, but it's the only explanation that makes any sense to me right now. If I'm wrong, then give me an explanation I can believe. I shouldn't have to say this, but you'll be making a big mistake if you lie to me now. I suggest you think very carefully about what you say next.
You're right.
Excuse me?
That kid, he's my son from another woman.
I knew it.
But make no mistake, baby, you're the only one I love. You're the apple of my eye, you and only you. I never meant to get my lover pregnant.
So what if you didn't mean to? You done goofed the moment you cheated on me. I'll never be able to forgive you for this.
Please listen to me, baby. I knew what I did was wrong. But he's still my son, and I still love him. What was I supposed to do? Abandon him? There's no way I could do that.
I get it, James. You wanted to have your cake and eat it too. Anyway, why did you dump your love child on your sister?
His mom got hospitalized with pneumonia. She was supposed to be leaving him with one of her friends, but she couldn't have him for the whole day. I didn't know what to do, and it was an emergency, so I figured dropping him off at Kylie's was my last option.
I get it. I bet you thought Kylie would have no way of finding out the truth because you and her were estranged, and me and her haven't spoken in years. You really didn't think this through, did you?
Look, I'm so sorry, baby. Please forgive me.
If you're genuinely sorry, I want an honest answer. If I find out you lied to me afterwards, we are absolutely 100% getting a divorce.
Fine, I will. I can be honest. Let me show you. Go on, I'm ready.
You've barely been home at all lately. Were you out meeting your lover all this time?
Yes. I used to stop off at her place on the way back to work.
That's funny. If what you were saying was true, you shouldn't have had any time to go and see her. All those days you spent working without breaks, all those early shifts that turned into evenings, that turned into nights. I can only conclude you were lying about being at work to go and see your lover. Am I right?
Yes.
I know. Why don't you phone your boss and ask him to send you the rota? Then you can show me exactly when you were working and exactly when you were out spending time with her.
I'm not sure I can do that, babe.
Why not?
Well, you see, the thing is, I don't work there anymore.
Excuse me?
I changed jobs just over a year ago. I don't work lates or nights anymore.
Wow. Which can only mean you were out with your lover last week when I was ill. You said you were working the night shift. You lied, didn't you?
Yes.
Do you have any idea how much I struggled with looking after Henry that night? My head was pounding like I'd been 10 rounds with Mike Tyson, and I must have thrown up at least 5 times. I was up and down like a yo-yo, calming Henry down whenever he cried, feeling like I was about to pass out at any moment.
There is no excuse for what I did, babe, and I won't try to make any. You should have never had to go through that. It's just that me and my girlfriend had been planning on going to Disney World on that day for a long time. I wanted to cancel when I found out you were ill, but knew that she'd be furious with me if I did.
Wow. So not upsetting your lover over a freaking Disney World trip is more important to you than my health? You're a despicable scumbag and I wish we never met. I can't take this anymore. Me and you are finished.
Please, baby, I swear, I'll never do anything like this again. I'm begging you to find it in your heart to forgive me.
I'd have to be the biggest moron on the planet to trust a lowlife like you again. Hell, I feel like the biggest moron on the planet for trusting you in the first place. You had me totally fooled with your sweet talk, didn't you, you manipulative asshole?
I wasn't lying when I said that I loved you, Daisy.
That's enough. I've heard enough. I'll never believe another word that comes out of your mouth. If anything, I just get more and more pissed off every time you speak. James, it's Kylie. I think it's about time you gave up. You're only driving her further away if you keep trying to stop her like this.
Kylie, how did things end up like this? This was never supposed to happen.
Things ended up like this because you're a disgraceful, shameless liar. You deserve everything that's coming to you. Anyway, we all know that stuff about being swamped with work was a lie, which should mean you're available now, right? Come and pick up your lover's kid already.
Wait, what about Daisy? Did she say anything about what she's gonna do next?
Her and Henry will be staying over at my place tonight, but she made it very clear she doesn't want to see your face. I'll hand over your bastard child at the doorstep, and then you can go home immediately. I'll be telling Mom and Dad about everything you did.
Wait a sec, Kylie. Does this mean Daisy's gonna divorce me? Is she serious about going through with it?
She says she'll be going to stay with her parents for the time being. If you want to talk to her, she said you'll have to drive out to her parents' place.
Her parents' place?
There's a good chance her mom and dad will beat the living daylights out of you, but if you're serious about her, you'll just have to face the music like a man. You've been rotten to that poor girl, and I'm ashamed to call you my brother.
No, this can't be happening. Daisy and Henry are my world, my everything. I can't bear the thought of losing them.
How could you mean that? If they were really your everything, you wouldn't have lied to her for God knows how long while she struggled to run a household and raise your son all on her own while you were out with your lover. None of us will ever be able to believe another word you say. Oh, it looks like Daisy wants to speak to you again. I'm passing over the phone now.
Daisy? Daisy, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I mean it, baby. I feel awful.
Actions speak louder than words, James. If you're genuinely sorry, then prove it.
I will. Of course I will. I'll do anything. Just say the word. Please, just forgive me, baby. I'm begging you here.
Just say the word? Okay, I do have a few words for you, actually. Child support and compensation. If you're sorry, you'll pay up every last cent of what I ask for.
Child support? Oh my god. You're serious, aren't you? I didn't think you'd actually go through with the divorce.
Then you're as delusional as you are shameless. Just because we're finished doesn't mean you get to escape responsibility for our son. You helped bring a life into the world, and you will fulfill your role as his dad, even if just financially. You'll be working to pay child support until he's an adult. You lied to me about having to do overtime for so long, but you're gonna need to do some for real with how much money you're about to owe me. After that, I swiftly divorced James and received a hefty sum in compensation. Me and Henry are currently living with my mom and dad at their place, and the four of us are having a great time together. James desperately begged me to take him back for a little while after the events of today's episode. To my surprise, it seems like he was genuinely broken up about the divorce. And he pestered me for months and months on end until he finally realized his struggling was in vain. Something tells me both sets of parents, as well as his sister, flipping out at him might also have had something to do with him finally taking the hint. Eventually, the woman he had a son with behind my back stopped responding to his messages. As things stand, he hasn't heard from her or seen his son in months. I heard it was because she wasn't happy about the way he was desperately begging me to take him back. I guess he must have been sweet-talking her into trusting him the whole time, just like he did with me. I'm pleased she finally realized what a scumbag he is. I got a message from Kylie a few days ago telling me she woke up to 57 missed calls and 97 messages from James, telling her how alone and isolated he feels after being disowned by his entire family. Sounds like he finally reached breaking point. Sorry, asshole, but what goes around comes around. It probably goes without saying, but this is the fate that awaits anyone who lies, cheats, and deceives their way through life.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hey, Vicky. Sorry to bother you with this, but is there any chance you could have all my golf clubs sent over?
You're gonna play golf there?
Yeah, the boss invited me.
You haven't played in years. Are you sure this is a good idea?
That's the thing. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried. I'm thinking of getting some practice in on my next day off before we go to avoid severe embarrassment. I know it's short notice, but I'd be super grateful if you could send them over tomorrow or the day after.
Sure thing. I'll send them tomorrow.
Thanks so much. You're a lifesaver. That reminds me, Rena's summer break starts soon, right? You guys want to fly down to Florida to hang out with your favorite guy in the whole world?
Huh? You mean you?
Yeah, duh. I'm not gonna be down here forever, and I figure while I'm here on work transfer, we may as well make the most of it as a family. Yeah, my neighborhood's by no means a bustling city center, but there are loads of tourist spots, you know? Like nature and green stuff, and alligators. They're chill as long as you don't go near them, though. There are tons of leisure activities around here. I think Rena would love it, and it would make me so happy to see you both again. Plus, imagine all the cool stuff she'd get to draw in her picture diary.
Patris? You will be coming back here for Rena's birthday, right?
Yeah, of course.
Then, why would we go out of our way to fly down there to you? Let's just wait till her birthday.
Well, how about you come here a week before her birthday? And then we all fly home and celebrate it with the rest of our family together.
I don't know, Patris. Florida's really hot. Me and that kind of heat don't get along at all. I'd rather go somewhere cooler. Why would we go out of our way to fly out somewhere I'm going to be all sweaty and uncomfortable? Plus, global warming's really bad these days. I heard it's hotter than average this year.
But we live in California.
I hate traveling in heat. It'd be a nightmare bringing Rena along, too. We'd both be sweaty messes and she'd be complaining the whole way.
Well, I think she'd love it. Sure, it's hot here, but of course we have aircon everywhere, and it's not like we have to run any marathons or anything. We can just take our time and relax.
Oops, silly me. I totally forgot. Rena has her swimming classes to go to during her summer break, so we have to stay here. Sorry, honey.
Really? Well, I guess it can't be helped then. Still, though, this is a summer break we're talking about. We should at least take her somewhere.
Can't we just take her to a theme park or something? She said she really wants to go to Peepsneyland. She's been begging me to take her for what feels like forever now.
Peepsneyland? That's a great idea. That's a day of guaranteed family fun right there.
You needn't think I'm coming.
Huh? Oh, why?
I don't have the patience to be standing around for hours queuing in that kind of heat. I'll get sunburned, and sunburn makes you wrinkle. There's no way I'm risking turning into a leather sofa just to trudge around in an overcrowded theme park, pretending to have fun for a whole day.
Wait, what? Are you forgetting about how we used to sunbathe together? You never cared about that kind of thing before.
You can get away with it while you're young, but as soon as you get older, the wrinkles start to show in people who get too much UV exposure. That's why I've been spending so much money on skin whitening treatments lately.
I'm not saying you have to take the time of your life, but won't you at least go for Rena's sake? Don't you want to see her enjoying herself? I think she'd much rather we went together as a family.
I'm not going, and that's final. The two of you can go without me. I'm with her 24/7. I think it's about time you start putting some effort into boosting your daddy credentials, because they're not looking great. You live thousands of miles away. She only gets to see you when you're not too busy to video call her.
Wow. Are you holding my job against me now? The only reason I transferred over here in the first place was for you guys. Besides, I really don't think there's any correlation between you not going to the theme park with us and her liking me more.
Maybe you don't feel that way because she's still in that sweet, affectionate age bracket. But it's a well-known fact that girls start hating their dads when they move up to middle school. And if she isn't absolutely besotted with you by then, you're in for a rude awakening.
Sure, maybe as a general rule, but I find it hard to imagine Rena ever being like that.
You're free to bury your head in the sand as much as you like. It makes no difference to me whether you live in delusional fantasy land or not. The bottom line is, I'm not going. Having to drag ourselves out to your parents' place for Rena's birthday every year is enough a pain in my ass as it is. The last thing I need is you forcing me to tag along on some plain-in-the-ass theme park trip. You might not be able to relate to this, but I work really hard looking after Rena. Surely I should get to enjoy some me time every now and then?
I guess you do have a point. You have to do everything for her now I'm in Florida for work, not to mention all the housework on top of it. Got it. Me and Rena will go. Just the two of us.
Yay! Score! Now I can finally have some chill-out time.
You deserve it, Vicky. Well, thanks for everything you do. I appreciate you.
Huh? Why are you getting all soppy on me all of a sudden? Relax, Patrice. It's not a big deal, really. I know you didn't get much of a choice on the transfer, and I'm the one who chose not to come with you.
Still, look after Rena, and keep things running at home all by yourself. I'm grateful for everything you do.
That's nice, honey, but I do wish you expressed that gratitude by buying me gifts every now and then.
Gifts? Is there something you want?
Well, there might be a certain bag I got my eye on. It costs $1,500, though.
$1,500? For a bag? Jesus, that's expensive.
Is that a no?
Yeah, you do work really hard, so it's not necessarily a no.
You do know it's my birthday next month, right, babe? Wink, wink.
Yeah, okay, got it. Leave it with me. Let me know if there's anything else you want.
Don't worry, I will.
But Vicky, don't you think you might be overusing the credit card a little lately? I almost had a heart attack when I saw this month's statement.
Being a woman is expensive, Patrice. Besides, I always have to buy Rena new clothes because she's growing so fast. Not to mention her school supplies, I'm hardly throwing it down the drain.
I see, but please stop using it from now on. It's over the limit every month these days.
Fine, I'll stop. Okay, I'm gonna go get your clubs ready to be sent off now.
Cool, thanks, babe. You're doing me a big favor here. Hey, Vicky, did you take some money out of our savings account?
Sorry, I was in urgent need of a little extra cash, so I took some out.
Urgent need? What for? Is everything okay?
To tell you the truth, I lent it to my brother Kyle.
Wait, what? Why?
He quit his job. He broke down in tears, begging me for help, saying he couldn't even afford his food or utilities anymore. He promised to pay it all back as soon as he found more work.
I see. Well, I thought I was hallucinating when I saw you withdraw $3,000 in one go. But if your brother's in trouble and promised to pay it back, I guess I don't mind. You could have at least told me beforehand.
You're right, I'm sorry.
Is he going to be okay? Why would he quit his job if it meant having to beg his sister for money?
Apparently his company were exploiting him and making his life hell. They were piling all kinds of ridiculous, borderline illegal demands like mandatory overtime and going without breaks on him on a virtually daily basis. He was at his physical and emotional breaking point. He knew quitting would come with its own set of problems, but he said it was either that or have a nervous breakdown and get institutionalized. My first thought was the same as yours, that he should have stuck it out if the alternative was being broke. But I've never seen him look so worn down and defeated. He was like a shadow of his former self. I honestly think he made the right decision.
Wow. Well, that's crazy. Well, I see. I guess if he was about to break, then he did the right thing by quitting. I hope he finds something better.
Right? But thanks, Patris. I thought you might blow a fuse with me because I took it out without telling you.
I'm not gonna lie. I was like, hey, what the F is she doing when I saw it, but I know you wouldn't use the savings account for nothing. And if Kyle is in genuine trouble, then I can hardly hold it against you.
Right. Even our parents don't know he quit yet. He's trying to keep it on the down low for the time being.
It's only normal to not want the world to know if you're a nervous wreck. I left a bad company myself once too, and it's weird, even though you know they were screwing you over, you still get these feelings of guilt and self-doubt about whether you did the right thing. I understand him not wanting people to know. Alright, I won't let on that I know if I see him anytime soon.
Thanks, babe. You're the best. I'm so lucky I married such a nice guy.
Anyway, how's Rena? What's she doing right now?
Taking a bath?
Listen, babe, I just can't shake the feeling she's been acting a little strange lately.
Huh? She seems like her usual old self to me.
Whenever I call her these days, it seems like she can't wait to put the phone down. Her voice sounds kind of gloomy, too. It's like her vigor and zest for life disappeared somewhere all of a sudden.
You sure you're not just imagining it? She seems plenty vigorous and zesty to me. Or maybe she just doesn't want to speak to you? Even so, I wouldn't take it personally. Like I said before, they all go through that phase eventually.
Maybe so.
She's not a baby anymore. She'll be ready for middle school soon. She's always been clever for her age, and everyone knows brighter kids are more likely to rebel against their parents, especially when they're overbearing. I think it's their way of asserting their independence.
I'm hardly overbearing.
I don't know, Patris. I think you embarrass her. You've been calling her every single day lately.
Huh? Am I embarrassing?
I think you should stop calling every day, at least.
Wow, I see. Well, I hadn't thought about it. You're right. Maybe I should give her some space.
Besides, she's been really busy with her swimming classes lately. And if she's not at the pool, she's out with her friends. She's probably tired. To be honest, I don't think she has the time or energy to talk to you every day. But she probably feels too awkward to tell you straight, so it comes out in her attitude instead.
I guess it's only normal she'd want to relax after doing laps at the pool for hours. Okay, got it. I won't call her tonight. I'll just have my dinner and jump in the tub. Okay, make sure you take it easy, honey.
I saw on the news there's a heat wave over there right now. It said 27 people died of heat stroke already. Can't believe it. Looks like we made the right decision not to fly over after all.
Yeah, nuts, right? Thanks, babe. I'll be careful. Make sure you guys take it easy, too. Hey, Irina. You all finished up in the pool now?
Hi, Dad. Yep, I'm back home. Are you still at work?
I'm slacking a little today. Can I call you today? Or did you want to go to bed early tonight?
No, I don't know.
You don't know? What does that mean?
And when are you coming home?
Well, for your birthday. Just 6 days now.
I have to wait this long?
Well, what's this? You want to see me again now?
Yes.
I'm pleased to hear that. I want to see you too, sweetie. Let's hang out a bunch when I get back. We can play all of your favorite games.
Dad, I'm hungry.
Huh? Oh, there's not a whole lot I can do about that, sorry. Don't you have any snacks in the cupboard? Why not see if your mom will rustle you something up?
Mom went somewhere in the car with some weird old guy. She said she'd be back right away. But she's been gone ages now. I have no money or food.
You don't have, one of your food? Some weird old guy? Hey, well, what's going on, Rena? You mean your mom isn't home right now?
Yes.
Wait a sec, when did she leave? She said she was at home when she messaged me yesterday.
Well, she isn't. I haven't seen her in 5 days.
What the?
She gave me some money when she left. But I bought some stuff other than food and accidentally ran out. I messaged Mom so many times, but she won't respond. It has the tick marks, so I think she read them.
Oh my god, I had no idea.
What do I do, Dad? When is Mom coming home?
I don't know when she'll be back.
I'm so hungry.
Hang on a sec, sweetie. I just messaged your grandma. She said she's on her way to you as we speak. She's gonna get you all your favorite foods.
Okay. I'm sorry, Dad.
Why would you apologize? You haven't done anything wrong.
But I broke my promise to Mom. I didn't know what else to do when my money ran out.
Hey, money's for spending, sweetie. Don't worry about it, but what do you mean your promise to your mom?
She told me not to tell you she wasn't home. I haven't been going to my swimming classes either. But she told me to tell you I was. She said if you found out, the cops would come and take her to jail. And I'd never see you again.
Oh, so it's like that, huh?
Huh? Like what?
Nothing. Don't worry. Everything's gonna be okay now, Rena. Thank you for telling me. I'm very proud of you. I'm the one who should be apologizing. You must have been so lonely all on your own all that time.
I was.
I'm getting on the next flight home.
Wow, really?
Really. I'll never let you feel sad like this again. I'll always be there to protect you, no matter what.
Rena, where are you right now? Where did you disappear to? And who the hell do you think you are going out without my permission?
Why?
What do you mean, why? I just got home and you're nowhere to be seen. Did you seriously think you can get away with going out to play without my permission while I was out? How dare you disobey me?
You haven't been home for 5 days. Because you went away in some weird old guy's car.
Wait, you saw that?
Yeah, I saw. He came to pick you up outside her house.
That man's just a friend of mine, sweetie. Rena, you wouldn't have happened to mention any of this to your dad, would you?
You said you'd get arrested if I told Dad, right?
Exactly. You'd never be able to see him again. He'd be alone for the rest of your life.
That's not true. I'm gonna be with Dad forever from now on.
Huh?
I'm at Grandma's house.
Wait, what the hell? What are you doing there?
I'm gonna give the phone to Dad now. He said there's some things he wants to discuss with you.
Rena, no, wait! Are you really with your dad? Rena!
Hey, Vicky, how was your holiday? You know, the one you left our daughter on her own to go on.
Patris? Is this really Patris? No, it can't be. You have to be lying, whoever you are. He's still in Florida. It's not even Rena's birthday yet.
You left your daughter all on her own at home for almost a week. You seriously think I can carry on working knowing that?
Patris, please listen to me. My friend got into an accident and I had to rush back to my hometown on short notice. I was by her hospital bed the whole time. She's so badly injured it looks like she might not make it. I came home because of Rena, but I have to go back soon. The doctors are still saying I shouldn't get my hopes up.
Why didn't you tell me then? Why didn't you leave Rena with my mom?
It was really sudden. Besides, I knew if I told you I left Rena all on her own, you would have flipped out at me.
Obviously. By the way, you can drop the act now. I know.
Huh?
I know. You went on vacation with your lover.
No way. My lover? I never cheat on you, baby. Surely you know that. And what's all this about a vacation? I've no idea what you're talking about. You can't seriously think I'd leave Rena all on her own to go on vacation.
If you didn't go on vacation, would you mind explaining what all that stuff on our computer search history is about? You were looking at holiday sites for hours. You even stayed logged in to the one you ended up booking your trip on. I saw the ticket for your return trip to Guam in your order history.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't you. Oh, okay. Who else could it possibly have been?
Someone hacked me. That kind of thing happens. You see in the news all the time. Someone must have put a virus on the computer and hacked us. There's a hacker inside our computer, Patris. Oh my god, we have to cancel all of our cards. They have access to our bank accounts.
You really are something else. You still won't admit it, in spite of the fact you've obviously been busted.
Why are you so convinced I'm cheating on you? If you're gonna make accusations like that, then you need to prove it. Show me the evidence. I admit, I left Rena on her own for a little while. And yes, I know that's not ideal, but it's not like I did it for no reason. My friend might die, Patris. I did not go on a vacation with the supposed lover I've apparently been cheating on you with, and I'm not about to admit to something I didn't do.
I spoke to Kyle. Turns out he didn't quit his job.
You did what now?
He came over after I told your mom about you leaving Rena on her own for nearly a week to go get piped by Loverboy in Guam. He said he wanted to figure out what was going on, so we came over and we had a little chat. He showed up in a suit, which set off alarm bells right off the bat, because an unemployed guy on the verge of a nervous breakdown doesn't show up to your house in a suit, right? I asked him how things were with work, and guess what? He said things were going great. He still works at the same company he's been at for the last 10 years. He looked at me with such a confused expression when I asked him if anything out of the ordinary had happened lately, that I felt like a doofus for asking. That $3,000 was your vacation fund, wasn't it?
I told you, Kyle doesn't want people finding out he quit his job. He's just good at putting up the facade of normality. It might look like things are all fine and dandy from the outside, but he's hurting deep down inside.
I think we both know that's a big steaming pile of bullshit. Anyway, I have proof of the affair. You probably didn't notice, but Kyle's been tailing you since you were right back at the airport this morning. He checked your flight information online, so he knew when and where he'd find you. He got plenty of photos of you and Loverboy coming out of the gates.
Oh my god. No way, you have to be lying.
Oh yes, way. Believe me. I wish I was lying, but unfortunately, you really are this much of a selfish, backstabbing whore. Not only did you cheat on me, but you left our daughter on her own to do it. What the hell are you planning?
Patris, please, listen. The truth is, I'm lonely.
And you think I'm not? Living so far apart from my family takes its toll on me too, you know? How do you think it felt when I found out you turned down the offer of a vacation with me to jet off to Guam with your lover? Talk about rubbing salt in the wound. Oh yeah, and all that stuff about not wanting to travel in the heat was clearly a pack of lies too. Guam's a freaking tropical island. I bet you got yourself a nice tan, huh? So much for all that crap about wrinkles. It was nothing but one pathetic excuse after the other. I don't need a wife who puts a vacation with her lover before her own husband and daughter.
I'm so sorry.
I don't want to hear it. It's too little, too late. If it was just the affair, maybe, just maybe I would have been open to hearing you out and patching things up for Rena's sake. But you left our daughter all on her own for almost an entire week without even leaving her enough money to feed herself. Me and you are so done.
My god, no! I can't lose you, Patris. Please, I promise I'll never see him again.
The fact you think breaking things off with him gets you off the hook only makes me feel even more disgusted with you. And let's be honest, shall we? I know this wasn't the first time. Rena told me you regularly went for days at a time. And every time you told her not to tell me, keeping her quiet by saying she'd never see me again if I found out. You're sick.
Baby, please. I know I still have a lot of making up to do, but I swear, me and him are done. I'll never see him again for as long as I live. I swear on my life I'll never betray you again. So please, I'm begging you, don't divorce me. Anything but divorce.
No can do. My mind's made up and my resolve is firm. I'll never be able to look at your face again without being reminded of what a traitorous whorebag you are. If I could help it, we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now. I felt like throwing up when Kyle sent me those pictures of you two coming out of the gates, holding all hands, all loved up like a pair of teenagers.
I totally get that you don't want to see me. I deserve that. But please, think of how this is going to affect Rena.
It's precisely because I'm thinking of Rena that we're getting a divorce.
She needs to be raised by both parents. She already knows I lied to her. Us separating would break her.
If you were really thinking of Rena, you'd accept that she's better off with me. But you're not. You're looking out for number one, just like always. You abandoned her for nearly a week without even making sure she had enough food or money to keep her going until you got back. She broke down in tears and apologized for lying to me for all that time. I told her she didn't have to feel guilty because you made her do it, and she was only doing what she thought she had to. She said she never wants to see you again.
Oh my god. You can't be serious. But she's been with me this whole time.
Sure, but you never gave her the time of day, did you? She told me all about how distant you were, even when you were around. You should be celebrating. You clearly think of her as a burden. What's the point in living together if you don't even show an interest in her? You may as well not be around if that's how you're going to act. Your lover was always your priority. Rena was never anything but a nuisance, was she?
I'm so sorry. You and Rena are the two most important people in the world to me. I see that now. I've been a fool. Please forgive me. I'm begging you. Please!
This isn't how you treat the most important people in your world, Vicky.
Your work transfer is going to be ending soon. I was really looking forward to us living together as a family again. It's not like I was neglecting Rena or anything. I just maybe wasn't as emotionally available as I should have been sometimes. I did my best to look after her in my own way. Are you really willing to destroy our family over a single mistake?
You knew what would happen if I found out. But instead of being a decent human being and just not doing it in the first place, you chose to threaten your daughter into silence instead. You're beyond saving. Oh, and don't worry, our family won't be destroyed. You just won't be a part of it anymore. A sunny vacation with your lover was more important to you than your own family. I'd have to be crazy to stay with you. After a lengthy legal battle with my wife, we eventually finalized the divorce and went our separate ways. The reason it took so long was because no matter how much we hashed it out, we couldn't see eye to eye on who would get custody of Rena. Eventually, we had no choice but to go through divorce court, and I did end up winning custody in the end. But since American courts tend to favor the mom in cases like this, it was one of the hardest 6 months of my life. And at one point, I felt like I was losing the will to live. But determined not to give up, I persevered and fought on for Rena's sake. And thankfully, Vicky leaving on her own for all that time swung the judge's decision, and she was deemed unfit to be a mother. Not only that, but because both her and her lover were married, and they were both aware of the fact they were having a double affair, I received a hefty sum in compensation from the both of them. His lover had to pay his own wife her share of compensation too. Vicky did take some of my assets in the divorce, but they soon vanished between the compensation and child support she now owed me. Forced to take out a loan and keep on top of the payments in the end, all she had to show for her life up until that point was the clothes on her back and a mountain of debt. When the verdict was declared, she broke down in tears and got on her knees in front of me, screaming, "What am I supposed to do now?" But fortunately for her, that ain't my problem. All that matters to me is that me and Rena get our child support money. As something tells me I'll never be seeing Vicky again, and that could only be a good thing. As for Rena, she says she never wants to see her mom again either. I'm aware that things are still tender for her right now, and that she could change her mind one day. But until that day comes, they'll remain strangers. When I told my boss about the situation, he agreed to cut my transfer short and have me working back at HQ in California with immediate effect so I could live with my daughter. Not gonna lie, it's not easy to keep on top of being there for Rena, doing the housework, and holding down a full-time job, but when I see her beautiful smile, I know it's all worthwhile. No matter how hard things get, I'll never give up, and neither should you. I'm lucky to have the support of my own and Vicky's parents. They visit us daily to help out now, and the house is livelier than ever. Rena complains about not getting any alone time anymore, but I think she loves it really because she's always smiling. Well, she's growing up so fast, and I'll probably barely recognize her in another year's time. But no matter who she becomes and no matter what trials and tribulations she faces, I'll always be there to support, listen to, and understand her. She's the most important person in the world to me, and we're closer than we've ever been. Here's to our future together. Let's hope it's a bright one, full of laughter and smiles.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Taylor, hello. Can you talk to me for a little bit? Hi, Annalise. I'm on my lunch break right now, so it's a perfect time. Well, listen, I'm over at your guys' house right now, and I have a few things to say about the state of the place. You're at our house? How did you get in there? Was the door left unlocked before we left? No, the door was locked when I got here. I have a spare key to your place, so I used that to unlock the door and get in. Huh? You used the spare? I don't remember you having one from us, though. Well, the last time you two went on vacation together for a while and left the house empty, you gave me the key so that I could check up on the place, right? Your cat needed someone to watch it. And so that's when your husband handed me this key. Is that so? I guess I kind of remember some of that. Does my husband still know that you're holding on to that spare key that he gave you? Because he told me that he asked for it back from you when we got home and never told me that you still held on to it. Well, I haven't spoken to him about it anymore, so he does not. But we don't need to worry about that. What I want to know about right now is what's in your fridge. You are working right now, yet you have nothing prepared for dinner in here. I usually make something up when I get home from work. I don't like having things sit in the fridge all day to be reheated for dinner when making fresh food is much better tasting. At least, that's what I think. You say that like you'll be home in time to make a decent dinner, though. But you're working full-time now and aren't back until 5 or 6, right? That means you're getting home at the same time as my son. Do you have enough time, then, to make him a good meal? Because I'm sure my son is pretty hungry when he gets home and doesn't want to wait on you. There are times where I make something in advance for us to eat, but other times I like to start cooking when I get home. And he knows that already, so he never bugs me about it. It doesn't even look like there's anything in the freezer either. What are you planning to make today? Today my husband plans on making something for us. We like to both cook on different days to even out the workload. And I think today he said he'd be going to the grocery store after work to pick some ingredients up for tonight. Huh? You guys are both cooking? Yes. Taylor, you've been making my son cook food for you guys as well? Yes, because both of us are working full-time jobs. What the hell do you think you're doing to him? Even if the both of you are currently working, the man and the woman have to do different things in the relationship, right? So that means you both have different workloads. Never make my son do any of the cooking or cleaning in this house again. It's your job as the wife to make sure that the men in the house get to have it easy, right? Well, this is something that both of us have talked about and decided on. So it's not like I'm the one forcing him to do anything like that. Rather the opposite, actually. He was the one that brought it up to me first that we both do the same amount of work at home. And he particularly said that he likes to cook as well, and I love that he does because his cooking is amazing. That has nothing to do with what's going on here. I allowed you to marry my son because I thought you'd do your best to support him and make sure that he's happy. So right now it feels like you've scammed me. But the two of us like to support one another equally in this house, so... Well, I don't like that. But this isn't your house, and he and I can do whatever we want in it without having you be there to decide for us. Today, you are going to be the one cooking dinner for him. Well, can I talk with my husband about that first? I mean, this was all his idea. Actually, why don't you talk to him about it if you're so upset that he's cooking and stuff too? Are you going to go against what your husband's mother is asking you to do? I didn't mean it like that. I'm just saying that you don't really get a say in what happens between us. And that whole idea of the woman always having to do everything for the men in the house is ancient. Ancient? Listen, Taylor, I'm not wasting all my time trying to explain basic knowledge to you. So you listen and do as I've asked, or else there will be severe punishments. Now, I'm going to have to come over every day from now on to check on you. Every day? I have to now, right? I want to make sure that every day you're making the most well-balanced foods for my son so that he can stay strong and healthy. I will not ever let you cook him some kind of frozen meal or anything unhealthy. So if you'd like to stop wasting my time by having me over every day, then start acting like the wife I want you to be and let my son relax. Hey, Taylor, do you not have any ice cream here? I haven't been buying ice cream for a little while now. Neither of us have been eating it lately, so there's no point in having it when it'll probably go to waste getting freezer burn. Then when you finish work today, make sure to buy some ice cream to bring home. And it can't be any of that cheap stuff, okay? I want it to be the most expensive stuff they have at the store so that I know it's good quality. And I ask that you buy 2 tubs of it. I want there to be enough for me as well, and my son deserves to have ice cream at all times because that's his favorite treat. Annalise, does this mean that you're back inside our house again? I am, but what does that mean to you? My husband told you to give him that duplicate key back, didn't he? Have you still not given it to him? What's wrong with me holding on to it longer? I'm your mother-in-law after all, and it was him that gave me this key in the first place back when you went on vacation. And that was because we were both gone for a while and needed someone to check up on the house and our cat. But right now you keep coming to our house every single day, and you just coming in like that all the time is a bit embarrassing. I'm sorry, but you're really going to have to give that back to us and stop intruding on our lives, okay? And just tell me outright that I'm causing you troubles, okay? But look, Taylor, I'm not going to stop coming to your house whenever I want. Until you've proven to me that you can make meals for my son every day, and good meals at that, I'm going to have to keep coming to check up on you. And since you told me your concerns, I have been making food for him every day. I don't think I've eaten any of his cooking for a week now because of the changes you've asked for. I've even gotten all the things I need to make him some chili tonight for dinner. Ah, well, about that. I threw all the ingredients in that away. What? Taylor, are you really going to force my son to eat something as disgusting as chili? I took a sip of the soup you had already made for it, and it was gross. So gross, actually, that I had to get into your wine cabinet and take a swig from something in there. Is that right? I'd been making that since yesterday, and when I tasted it, the flavor was perfectly fine. And now you've gone into the wine cabinet? Annalise, I'm not sure which bottle you took a drink out of, but those are not cheap. And I had to drink that wine only because you don't know a thing about cooking. I don't even like wine that much, so I had to spit a lot of it out after. Your flavor palette is worse than that of a baby's. Oh, I wonder if this is all because of how you were raised. You were only raised by your father, so you never learned the correct way to cook and how to know if it's good tasting or not. My dad always made me some of the best dishes in that house. And because of that, I have been able to learn a lot about cooking and how to do it right. I even took some classes in college for culinary arts so that I could be on par with my dad's cooking. Ha! You think that having learned about cooking from him will have made your palate any better? I think that your dad was just bad at cooking, and so your palate is skewed. Why are you saying things like that? What help does that do in our current situation? I'm sorry, but I'm not cooking food for you in my house, am I? So stop complaining about it all and just go home. None of this is affecting you in any way, so stay out of our business, please. Well, I'm telling you that I'm right here to help you do your job right. I've been thinking this about you for a while now, but although you are my son's wife, there is nothing about you that makes you worth being married to. So if you'd like me to start thinking differently of you, then maybe it's time you start doing things for me, too. Is this your reason for throwing out today's meal? That couldn't be my reason for it. Don't think of me as some kind of monster, okay? That is very rude of you. I went and tasted that food for your sake and my son's. I'm afraid of you feeding my son garbage, and garbage needs to be thrown out because it cannot be saved. But was there any point to throwing out the food and ingredients that I'd already put together for tonight? Even if you don't want my husband eating that chili, I would have still eaten it. I don't like people wasting food like that when the prices of it all are going up. If I weren't to throw it out now, I'm sure you would have forced my son to eat it when I'm not around. And my son is far too nice a man to tell you to make him another dish when the food you've cooked is so bad. So I just saved him today from having to worry about throwing up all over the dining table. Then why not next time you and I work together to cook something up for dinner? That way you can show me how to cook a proper meal, and you can see what your son says about it in person. Why should I have to cook with you? My husband tells me that my cooking is delicious. I hear from him every time that he's happy with what I cook, and he says thank you for it. So I want to see if what you help me make is any better. I've noticed, though, that you always head home right before my husband gets home, right? Well, if you're so confident that my husband doesn't like what I make, then you throw it out in front of him and see what he thinks. I have a job of my own making food for my husband back at home. I do not have the time to be around your house all dang day. Just like I have been, I'll be coming over every day to check what food you're making and see if it's any good. And any day that I'm not able to come over, do not make my son cook for you. I'll ask him to make sure that you're staying in line, because the moment you take a step out of line, I'll be on you. Annalise, are you in our house right now? Yes, I sure am. And? Aren't you at work right now, though? How would you know that I'm just getting into your house? Because I just saw you on the security camera to our house. No way! Have you been watching me this whole time? I had the camera installed a while ago to watch our cat while we were at work. If you don't like being seen through it, then stop coming into our house uninvited. If you have the money to spend on a stinky cat, then you have the money to start saving for a baby, right? Well, you are always working alongside my son, so you could never have the time to have a baby. Don't tell me that you're the kind of person that doesn't want kids. I do want kids. Then why haven't you quit your job yet and stayed at home full time? I think that women are a lot more happy being at home doing chores and raising kids rather than working a job. And I'd be happy if you left me to decide for myself when I want to have and raise kids. You saying things like that all the time will see your healthy eggs go to waste and rot away. You could have said that in a way that was a bit less horrific. Well, I'm just telling you the truth the way I see it. And another thing, what the hell is this that you've made for dinner? It looks like something someone vomited out. Are you talking about the beef stew that I've made? That's it. When I got a glance of the nasty soup sitting in that bowl, I wanted to vomit myself. When are you going to be able to cook a decent meal for my son? I'll throw this stew out as well for you today. When you get home today, you make something that's at least half decent for my son to eat. Is my husband not home right now? Huh? What do you mean? I'm talking about your son. Right now, he should be at work like you, right? Today is a Tuesday, and so the two of you should be getting into another week of work. No, today he has the day off because he had to work extra late last week and so was given today off as a present. What? So you're telling me he's home right now? I'm sure that you're going to get upset when you hear this, but today I was having my husband cook us our dinner. And my husband told me around lunch today that he had made beef stew for us to eat tonight. Stop making jokes about this. When I came into the house, the only thing here was your cat. Are you trying to get me all worked up by making up lies like that? I knew it. No, I'm telling you the truth right now. There was just a noise. Annalise, it's saying that you've seen my messages, but you're not replying to me. What happened to you? Could this mean that my husband really is there with you? Taylor, I have something that I'd love to talk with you about. Sure, what is it? Can you ask my son to take a look at some of the messages I've sent him for me? Look, I apologized to the both of you, didn't I? I even handed back that duplicate key to him, and I promised to never get on to you about anything that I don't like ever again. So let's go back to how things were when you first entered my family and be happy together. Annalise, we told you the other day how the both of us feel right now about you, right? We said that we never want to have anything to do with you ever again. But I've learned a lot from what's happened. I think that I was just being a bit too aggressive with you about being my son's wife. A bit? No, actually, I was being very aggressive with you, wasn't I? I probably should have never thrown away your guys' cooking like that. And right now, I have a lot of regrets about all of that. Keeping our duplicate key after we asked for it back and entering our house over and over uninvited was also pretty unacceptable of you. And after putting a lot of trust in you at first by letting you watch our cat while we'd been on vacation, it's a shame to see all of that trust ruined. So what you did was not okay by any means. What's the worst to me, though, is that before handing that key back to us, you made another one of it. Well, I just thought that if anything happened at your guys' house, it would be good for me to be able to let myself in there. You entering the house without our permission is a huge problem. Hey, Taylor, I'm telling you that I really have learned from all of this and will never do any of that again. So don't you think that going as far as cutting ties with me is harsh? Making a copy of the duplicate key so that you could still come into our house? And making comments about me and my cooking before throwing it out? And that last time you threw out your own son's cooking thinking it was mine? You had never actually been tasting any of that cooking from the start, had you? You just wanted to use the reason that I cooked the food as your reason for throwing it out. That's not what happened then. Before you were bragging a lot about your son, right? You said that your son could do anything and everything he cooked was always delicious. You threw away his delicious cooking, Annalise. Why would you do that if it was always supposed to taste good? Well, that last time, it didn't look all that appetizing. I'm finished here. I can see that no matter what I say to you, you have an excuse made up and ready to go. After what has happened between us this time, I no longer enjoy being around you. I think from now on, I'll only accept your husband as my in-law. Don't say such heartbreaking things. Both my husband and son have already torn into me about this, and they aren't choosing to listen to what I have to say anymore. My husband isn't even talking to me anymore now. And it's been weeks now where he doesn't listen or say anything to me. Well, that's all because of how messed up you were when you started to come into our house uninvited and criticize your sons and my cooking. I did hear one thing, though. Taylor, you're pregnant now, right? That is right, that I'm pregnant right now, but that has nothing to do with you. Well, Taylor, I was so worried about you because you focused so much on your job, and that's why I was always interested in the life that you and my son were making in that house. So I made that second duplicate key so that I could get into your house and check on you two. I just thought that if you started making better food, it would benefit the both of you and any kids you have. I did all of that to give you a little advice. Advice? How is calling my food garbage and throwing it away giving me any advice? I think I was just struggling to say the right things to you. Even after my husband and father-in-law tore you a new one, you still haven't learned any lessons, have you? I have. And that's why I'm talking to you right now. This is all too strange. Because for the last while now, all I've heard coming out of your mouth are sad excuses for why you did such horrible things. I'm sorry about that. I want to apologize to you for being so rude recently. So please try and find a way to keep my son and yourself from throwing me away. I'd love to be able to meet my grandchild when they're born, and blaming everything on me like you guys are is too much. If you didn't want to be blamed for everything like you are now, then maybe you should have shut your mouth and been a responsible adult. We trusted you up until the point that you started entering our home without our permission. I was thinking that you and I could have become even closer then. However, you have shown us your true intentions from your actions and made it clear that you don't respect my husband and I. So I don't think I'm going to bother with you anymore. Is that so? Well, if that's the case, then I have something for you. After all of the apologies I've given to you, there has still been no forgiveness. So I'm thinking that you're the messed up one in all of this. So I'm going to make it my main goal to fix that awful attitude of yours before I pass away. We aren't going to be seeing one another anymore, so how are you going to fix my attitude? Could this mean that you made more than just one duplicate key that you're still holding on to? And what if I do have more? Do you have a problem with that? We changed our lock. Then I'll break in through your windows. You guys have a single-story house, so it's not hard for me to get in there. Stop that, Annalise. We already moved out of that house, so all you're going to be doing is getting into trouble with the law. Huh? You guys moved? Yes. We understand that you still knowing where our house was meant that there was a chance of you coming back. and we're going to be having our first baby here soon. So we'd like a place where we can focus on raising our baby with no outside distractions. Where did you guys move to? Are you brain dead, Annalise? Why would I tell you that? And don't bother your husband about it because he doesn't know the address either. And if you try to come to our house in any way, my husband is going to come to you and help you understand where the line is at. Taylor, I'm sorry. No matter what you try and say about things now, it's way too late. You even started saying that you'd go as far as breaking into our house through the window. At this point, even if you told me the best apology, I'm not going to let you near us. Well, that was just because I thought I was getting into a pickle with you guys there. That wasn't meant to be anything serious. I don't think anyone would mention something like that after already entering someone's home uninvited on multiple occasions. Taylor, I promise that I'll never do anything to hurt you guys ever again. I won't even be a bother to you both anymore. So can you find it in your heart to allow me one more chance to be your mother-in-law? That chance was me replying to your texts today. I'm so sorry. I'm so frickin' sorry. I know that you were always looked at so nicely by my husband and son, and that made me jealous to the point that I wanted to pick on you a little bit. So now you're just saying that all of those things you did to me and my husband were because you're a child? I get it. I was a real idiot back then when I did all of that. So please, find any way besides throwing me away to deal with me. I'm going to make sure from now on to change my heart and become the best mother-in-law ever. No matter what you say to me, you are not going to change the idea that you cemented in my mind of you. I'm throwing out the trash here. You had your last chance a second ago to tell me that all of this was because you're a child. But instead you wasted my time with all your crappy excuses. Well, your time is up now, and I need to make sure that my family never has to deal with you in the future. After that, I never received any more calls or texts from Annalise. I think I made it very clear to her that my mind was not going to be changed, no matter what kinds of weak excuses she threw at me, and so I blocked her. I never thought that anyone would try and make more copies of a duplicate key to be able to enter someone's home whenever they pleased. And after the way she did that and proceeded to complain about me, I am in shock. But after having both my husband and hers team up on her to tell her just how horrible of a person she is, she started to slip from the position she once had as my mother-in-law, and was worried about what would happen next to her. I really wanted things between her and I to work out since I never had a mother-in-law before, but now I think my days of worrying about becoming closer to her are over. She said that she thought that I'd be a good wife to her son at first, and that's why she let us get married, but to be honest, I don't think she ever thought that of me. I feel that if she would have just been honest to me about what she wanted instead of taking the worst path possible, then things would have never gotten this bad. But even now, my husband and father-in-law tell me that I don't have to change my ways for anyone's approval besides my own, and that I'm an excellent wife. Right now, Annalise is very quiet and keeps to herself, while only doing chores around the house before settling down. Her husband is still being very distant from her and never talks to or listens to her, even when she begins to cry for him to listen. But by the age they are now, I feel he's right for not bothering with her, and it almost surprises me that he didn't leave her in general after what she'd done. I guess for now, she'd be best off just continuing to keep quiet like she has and doing all the chores and cooking for him. Now it's been a couple of months since we moved houses, and I'm starting to go on my maternal leave from work. And with the free time I'll have now, I'm going to start getting myself prepared for having a baby and getting all the necessities. I'm never going to let Annalise meet with her grandchild when they're born, but I'll gladly take anything she gives me for the baby as long as she hands it to her husband to bring to me. Even though right now I'm primarily thinking about the baby and giving birth to it and all of that, I think down the road I might rethink things with Annalise. So hopefully by that point in the future, she has really grown up a bit and can show me and her family that she's ready to be a part of the family again. But enough of that kind of talk, as right now I'm only going to think about my husband and soon-to-be-born baby. And while I'm on the path to giving birth, I'll be thanking all of those that helped me along the way, and will do everything I can to do what I can.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
China, thank you so much for letting me know about your wedding and congratulations. I know you guys don't normally come out my way, but it was nice to see the both of you.
This has nothing to do with you though, Leia. I may be your daughter-in-law, but that does not give you the right to think that you need to be there for my wedding. We only came out because Jacob wanted to grab some things and just happened to let you know about the wedding.
You don't have to be so distant with me anymore. I understand that you may feel that you can't be open with me, but I'm telling you that I won't bite. And by this point, it's been a year now since you married Jacob, right? So, I'm just saying that I'm happy that you two are finally going to have a wedding. And that it'd be nice if you and I could be closer. Anyway, I'll be looking forward to your guys' wedding.
Hey, I'm not giving this wedding for you, Leah. I know that you're all happy about coming, but that doesn't mean we all are.
I know that, China. I'm telling you that I'm happy for the both of you and look forward to seeing those smiles on your faces. And of course, seeing your guys' faces will make me happy as well.
Is that so? Then is that all you wanted to say to me now? You don't have to talk to me if it's to tell me something like that. Tell your son that, and that should be enough for you, right?
This is what I mean by you acting so distant with me. You don't have to keep being all negative about me, just wanting to tell you a simple message. I wanted to make sure you knew how happy I am for you two is all. Telling you that shouldn't be a problem, right?
Well, if that's all you have to say, then I guess. But that should mean we could stop talking now, right? I'm busy right now getting ready for the event. I still need to make a bunch of phone calls, as well as head to the wedding hall to prepare.
1 second. I have one other important thing that I'd like to talk with you about. So just give me a bit more of your time.
Come on, what else? Didn't I just tell you that I'm busy making sure the wedding is planned out? I don't have all day for you, so make this very quick.
I was wondering about how you acted today when you stopped by my house earlier. It seemed that you weren't all too happy about something. And when I say that, I mean it felt as though you're holding something against me.
How I acted? This is just how I normally am, so it kind of hurts hearing you say that about me.
You haven't always acted like that, right? I know for a fact that you only act that way when you're around me, right? When you're with Jacob, you're a lot more polite, I'm sure. Because if you acted like that with him too, I don't think a relationship could have worked out between you both.
Well, I'm his wife. I'd never act the way I do with you in front of him.
And there must be some reason behind you acting that way, right? If you don't want him to get upset with you over the way you act with me, then you should perhaps just open up a little. You can tell me anything, and I'll make sure not to take it personally.
When I'm around you? No, I don't think I will open up. Listen, I don't like being around you, and so I'm not going to change the way I act. And I know that you're a single mother, and on top of that, you're poor, so I have to be rude to you. I mean, I can't let myself be nice to you, or you might start to think your situation as a mother is okay.
Well, now, I can see that you do think it's okay to look down on me. At least that clears things up a little. Well, if that's really the way you feel about me, then I'm not going to force you to change that attitude. I do think it's a bit odd that that's the reason you're upset around me, but I'm not going to try and change your views of me. But when it comes to the wedding, can you at least be a little bit more friendly with me?
Only during the wedding? Why should I be more friendly with you then?
Well, because your parents will also be at the wedding, right? And Jacob's co-workers and bosses will be there as well. If you keep acting the way you have with me there, then it may create a bad image of us, and things might not turn out the way you'd like them to if everyone is concerned about you.
So you're asking me to be nice to save your own pride? I never thought you had any pride to begin with, so it should have been alright for me to be rude to you.
I don't want people thinking that you're willing to disrespect your mother-in-law on your special day is all. And when it comes to Jacob, I don't think he'd like having the two of us at odds during the wedding, right? If you make yourself look bad by acting out against me, then you may only make things worse for your relationship.
Yeah, I don't want to be giving everyone the wrong idea, right? Although, I'm sure when the other people in my family get to know you more, they'll think the same way I do about you.
What? I am fine with you hating me for whatever reasons you may have, but at least during the wedding can you play nice? That's fine, right? It's not asking much for me to ask you to just act as though there's nothing between us for a few hours, right?
All right, understood. I'll try my best to not be rude to you. And don't start talking back to me if I slip up once or twice. After all, you're asking me a lot more than you should be with the status you have.
I'm really asking you to do this one thing for everyone. Not just me. Hopefully knowing that will help you make the right decisions. China, do you think that you can come to the waiting room that I'm in? I want to talk with you about what just happened.
No, thank you. I'm in the middle of getting my makeup done. And by the time that's over, I'll have to be ready for the wedding to start.
Well, I don't mind if you come after that as long as we have a chance to talk. Just a little time will do, so can you be here soon?
I don't want to, so it's not happening. And by the way, it's not normal of you to ask to talk with the bride right before the wedding is about to begin. Everyone knows that this is the most busy time for the bride, and she has a lot on her mind that doesn't involve you. So stop trying.
That's right, and to be honest, I don't want to have to talk with you either right now about what happened. After all, today's supposed to be Jacob's and your big day. But you did do something that was not okay.
Well, if you understand that, then you should stop trying with me. It's like you're trying to start something for no good reason. If I did something that you didn't like, then maybe you should keep it to yourself until after the wedding.
Well, I want to talk with you about how you just acted with me. But it wasn't just me that you acted that way towards. You also acted rude towards Jacob's mentor. Do you not know what you've done to him?
Jacob's mentor? Are you talking about that old man that was standing next to you a bit ago? That guy isn't even family or close friends to me, so he shouldn't even be here. That's why I was so surprised to see him here in the first place.
That man is a very busy man with all his work, yet he made time to be here for Jacob. He told me that he just wanted to stop by to at least see Jacob during his very special day, and had been planning on getting to know you a little. Yet out of nowhere, you came along and said some rude things. If you were not married to Jacob, then that would have not been okay for you. I'm sure things have made things awkward for his mentor now, and I can't seem to find him anywhere to talk with about you.
Did I say something that happened to upset you and that old geezer? I don't remember a thing I said.
You sure did. You said to him that he resembled me, as someone who was nothing more than a moneyless single parent living in poverty. And then you told me he should marry me since we're both poor. Even if that was just meant to be a joke, it was not appropriate to say.
Well, he came during a time like this that is only meant for people that know one of the two that are getting married. And he looked too old to be associated with Jacob, so I just assumed you both were dating or something. And I assumed by the way he looked, he'd be a perfect match for a single mother like you. Wasn't it kind of me to try and get you another husband so that you wouldn't be as lonely anymore?
Do not say things like that about him. That man already has a wife of his own, and they've been living together for 35 years now. And you have never seen him before, so what you said was very rude. Did you forget about what I had asked from you a few days ago?
I remember you saying something about me. What was that? Something about how you always annoy me or something? I guess I don't remember it though, so it must not have been that important. Sorry.
I asked you to at least act nice towards me during the wedding today. But by the way you're acting, you're going to make things very difficult for Jacob. You don't want everyone to start thinking that you don't care about everyone here today, and that you don't have any manners, right? So please, stop acting so childish towards everyone and behave yourself.
All right, my bad. Are you happy now?
I'm telling you that your attitude right there is not okay today. Talking to you through our phones doesn't seem to be getting the message across. You're fine for time, so come over here and let me have a word with you. If you can't seem to find any time, I'll come over there and we can talk.
No thanks. Seriously, stop trying with me today, okay? Why do I have to be the one to act nice towards you when this is my wedding to begin with? I don't need you nagging me constantly about how upset you are.
Well, if you could just act like an adult, we wouldn't have to worry about each other anymore, right? I'm not going to let you act that way towards me anymore today, so please come and see me. I'll even let Jacob know that I'm asking for you to come see me.
Alright then. It's not like the wedding is going to start soon anyway. And I was planning to come see you soon here as well. I'll let Jacob know, and then I'll be over there to talk with you face to face.
Thank you, China.
Leah, the wedding's going to start soon. I can't find you anywhere. Where did you run off to?
Don't you dare act like you don't know what's going on. You're the one that had kicked me out of there, right?
What? Did I really do that? I just asked that anyone who is worthless go home. I never said anything about having you thrown out of there, Leah.
You had no right saying that to me. You came into that room with me and spilled coffee all over my dress. And at that point, there was nothing else I could do for myself.
No, that was your fault for that one. I had asked that you not to worry about the wedding, but then you came here and started mouthing off to me even more. And having to listen to an old hag run her mouth really pissed me off.
And after all those warnings I gave you, you still couldn't manage to see that this is due to your bad attitude, right?
But that right there is really annoying. I didn't ask for you to start talking to me like that about the way I like to act. Also, when I asked that everyone worthless leave, the security must have thought you were pretty meaningless at my wedding. See, it's not just me that knows how awful of an in-law you are.
Is that so? Well, I can see that I'm not going to get to you. I'm tired of trying to get you to act like a proper adult. Go ahead and act however you'd like.
Sucks that you won't be able to take part in your special son's wedding today. I can see by how easily you've given up that this was a huge blow to your pride, right?
I'm sure it was a huge blow. I should have handled you before this happened. I should have let Jacob know all about what you had done.
Well now, you don't have to worry about that now. I'll make sure to send you some pictures of the wedding later. And that should get you to shut up.
What pictures?
I just told you pictures of the wedding, you idiot. You can't be telling me that Alzheimer's has caught up to you this early.
China, you're still the bride today. You still can't see what's happening? The wedding has been cancelled, right? So there's going to be no photos of your wedding today.
Huh? What are you talking about, Leah? I'm tired of such boring jokes.
This is no joke and everything is very much reality. Maybe you could go ask Jacob, or even ask your own parents to confirm.
I'm not going to fall for some blatant lie like that. It's just about time for the wedding to start now, okay? There's no way the wedding could get cancelled right now.
Well, I know that you've always thought about things from your own point of view. Go ahead and keep thinking that there will be a wedding today. I don't care.
I can tell that all of this is killing you right now, and that's why you're trying to scare me with that bullcrap. I'm sure you don't want to be the only person today that's miserable. You've already been thrown out because of what you did, so you can stop all the lying. All you're doing is making me hate you more and more. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. And my parents are coming my way now, so I can't sit around and waste my time with you anymore.
Is that so? Thank goodness. I've gotten tired of having to listen to you talk about everything being my fault. I'll let your parents handle the rest for me.
Fine. I'll let you think that everything will go wrong for me. Now, I have a fun day ahead of me to attend to. You can go home or something and wait there all by yourself. When the wedding's done, I'll let you know. Wait, the wedding is actually being canceled right now. And worse is that both Jacob and my parents are furious with me. What the hell were you thinking lying to them about me?
What the hell were you thinking, spilling coffee on your mother-in-law and then having her kicked out of your wedding?
Huh? You just ruined my wedding and think you get to blame me for that? Everything is ruined now because of you coming today.
But from the beginning, the whole reason this happened is because of you, right? There's no reason you should be trying to blame anyone else for the way you acted. And I never lied to any of them about you.
What the hell do you mean? If it wasn't you that started talking crap about me, then why does everyone know what happened?
I'm sure that other people wondered where I went, and so they started looking for me. And I'm sure that someone saw that I was covered in coffee and on my way out of the building. Actually, one person did ask me where I was going, and I told them what had happened before the door closed on me.
So you did start lying to someone about this.
Lying about what? I had coffee spilled all over my head and back by you, and my dress and hair were proof of that. There's no way you were going to hide all that you'd done to me from everyone there.
When that happens, you should be dead inside and let things be. I just covered you in coffee and ruined your dress, so you should have known you'd been defeated and that there was nothing else you could do. You knew that this was your son's wedding, right? Why would you do something to ruin that for him? You're a terrible mother.
Well then, what was the point of spilling coffee on me? If you didn't want to make a scene, you should have just came and spoke to me like an adult. I told you that all you had to do was act kind to everyone today, but you couldn't help yourself. Anyway, the person that saw me on the way out and asked what had happened was your mom. So I had no choice but to tell the truth. And why did you think I'd never talk about something like this?
I'm the one that's pissed now. Yeah, you keep trying to talk to me like I'm in the wrong. Who do you even think you are? You're just some old hag living in poverty, while I actually have money and am saving your son from living in the shadows like you.
You're asking me who I think I am? I think that I'm your mother-in-law. Actually, I know I am. And that's why I was being kind and caring for you by warning you to not act out of line today. If you would have just stayed quiet today and acted like someone who was happy to be married, then you would have never had to see your wedding fall apart.
So what? Did you think I'd be thankful for telling me to be kind? After all you did to me?
I don't want you to be thankful, rather I just wanted you to heed my warnings. And I wasn't even asking you to be careful about anything so far out of line.
Well, if you only wanted that, then next time maybe keep your mouth quiet. Who do you think is to blame for all of this? Take responsibility for it right now.
To make sure something like this would never happen, I tried my best to warn you. And yet you were the one that ignored me, right? I guess I should have tried harder to make sure that you could act like an adult before all of this, because you obviously don't know how to yourself. But even with that thought in my head, I will not be responsible for what you did.
Stop screwing around! I just lost the most important moment of my life. And now they're saying that I'll have to pay for the whole thing. And the next wedding isn't going to be free either, Leah.
And who will that next wedding be with?
With Jacob, of course. But because of this, we're not going to let you come.
Have you not heard anything from him yet? He already told me that he's going to be divorcing you.
What? Divorcing me?
I had been trying so hard to stop that from happening for a while now. But since he thinks this is the right choice, I won't tell him otherwise.
Wait, hold on a minute. Why does he want to get a divorce at a time like this?
If you took a second to think about what you've done, you'd understand why. Aren't your parents really upset with you now as well? And they told you that you'd have to pay for the whole wedding yourself, right?
I didn't think they were being serious, though. How much will that all cost me? I don't have enough to pay for all of this.
Well, in the divorce, you'll also have to split properties, right? Maybe you can get some money in that, depending on what the lawyer thinks.
I'm not even saying that I'm okay with being divorced. So there's no way he can just do it without my permission. Do something to stop all of this.
I had tried to do something to stop this earlier as your mother-in-law. But you looked down on me and never once listened to a word I said about being a bit less rude to me. So there's nothing else I'm going to do for you now. It'll all fall on deaf ears anyways.
But you should be trying to do something as my in-law. Your daughter-in-law is in trouble, so you have to help me.
You think that, but take a look at your own parents. They have no plans of helping you, so why would I when I'm not even related to you by blood?
They aren't going to help me? What do you mean?
They're planning on cutting ties with you. They told me that you're not welcome back to their house after the divorce.
You're kidding, right? Then what should I do now?
Why don't you think about that yourself? Before you have to ask a single mother anything, let's see what you can do on your own. If you cannot figure anything out, then that means you're worse than me, right? After that, Jacob and China became divorced. It was a rough road getting there, but after China's parents forced her to go meet with Jacob's lawyer and talk about all the details, there was nowhere left for her to run. She had tried to plead that this was all due to me bullying her, but Jacob could see through her lies and made it clear that he no longer loved her, and that is what made her realize she had lost. But even though she was no longer married to Jacob, she still had a long and terrible road ahead of her. As her parents had said before, the whole wedding and the cancellation fees had to be paid by her and only by her. And luckily for her, she was able to get enough from Jacob in the divorce due to the splitting of their properties and money, and could pay it all off without having to take out any sort of borrowed money. But because she spent every last penny she had on that wedding, she no longer had enough to pay for herself to live. She had always been a housewife for Jacob while he worked, and so she never had any money of her own to begin with. And on top of being moneyless, she also had no home to go back to, and so she was really in between a rock and a hard place. I may no longer be her mother-in-law, but after seeing how far she's fallen after disregarding my warnings to her, I only hope that she'll find a way to grow up and squeeze her way out of this very narrow hole that she's found herself in. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Jenny, who the hell do you think you are stealing my man like this? Whoa, where did that come from all of a sudden? You wanna, take a chill pill and tell me what you're talking about, sis? Don't play dumb with me. I saw it with my own eyes. You and Darren going into the hotel together holding hands. Have you lost your mind? He's my fiancé, you know. Huh? Oh, you mean you saw us? Was it just by coincidence? Like hell it was. He's been acting strange lately, so I decided to do some digging. He hardly pays me any attention these days. We stopped going out as a couple, and he never puts his damn phone down. I barely recognize him anymore. Wow, that's actually impressive. You figured it out just from that? Did you hire a private investigator? I followed him under the pretense of going to work. I saw you both with my own eyes. I was so shocked when I realized what was going on. I would have never imagined in a million years he was on his way to a hotel for a seedy tryst with my little sister. You followed him, yourself? You're nuts. That's kind of creepy, sis. Don't you think that's a little obsessive? He's my fiancé. We promised to spend the rest of our lives together. We even met each other's families. How is wanting to know whether he's being faithful to me obsessive? Try common sense. Are you trying to destroy everything we had? I'm not trying to do anything, but let's face it, your wedding is gonna have to be called off now. I think I'm a much more suitable wife, so it's probably for the best this way. You were never gonna last, so you should be thanking me for bringing things to an early resolution. Called off? Yep, he's gonna break up with you. I think you lucked out big time by getting an elite high-spec guy like Darren to agree to marry you in the first place. Not only is he a top sales executive at a major global company, but he's so dishy, he could have been a model. He's elite, I tell ya. A guy with so much going for him would be wasted on you. Wasted how? We loved each other before you stepped in and wrecked everything like a goddamn bull in a china shop. Get out of our way. Exactly, you loved each other. Past tense. He doesn't feel anything for you anymore. What's gone is gone, and it's never coming back. Better just move on, sis. Things will be easier for you that way. I don't need you to tell me that. He wouldn't be going to hotels with other women if he loved me. That would be bad enough on its own, but to think he's been at it with my own sister? Ugh. Darren's been mine for a long time now. It's hardly a surprise, though. You're so much uglier than me. It's honestly surprising we're even related. Everyone knows guys prefer petite, ditzy blondes like me over neurotic heffalumps like yourself. Ditzy? Don't you mean moronic? You can call me whatever you like, but I know the only reason you're calling me neurotic is because, unlike you, I actually think before I act and plan for the future where possible. It's true, though. You've never exactly been the sharpest tool in the box, have you, Jenny? You've never been capable of sitting down and studying something for more than 5 minutes, and I lost count of the amount of times you were crying to me, begging to do your homework for you. You bore me, Elsa. You gonna dwell on the past for the rest of your life? Get with the times, loser. We're grown women now. Maybe so, but the point still stands because you're still just as much of an idiot as you always have been. Is that the only way you can feel superior to me? It's actually sad. You do know that guys aren't interested in how well educated you are, right? They don't look for the same things in us that we do in them. Most guys would be happy with a girl who flipped burgers for a living as long as she was hot. How many guys have chosen me over you now? How many times does it need to happen before you learn? You might be clever, but your smarts couldn't lock down any of your exes, could they? They want a woman, not a calculator. Not just guys either. Even mom and dad prefer me to you. It's true. I think mom and dad went seriously wrong with raising you somewhere down the line. They spoiled you and gave you too much attention, and look at the result. You turned into a vain, narcissistic, selfish, arrogant egomaniac. Sounds like sour grapes to me, sis. Who knew you were such a sore loser? You can insult me and question mom and dad's parenting all you like, but you should know we're all very happy. If you're such hot stuff, why is it you only seem capable of getting boyfriends by stealing them from me? Can't you attract a guy by yourself? I bet that's why you keep doing it. You like my sloppy seconds, do you? Disgusting. What does that make you? You're the one who keeps getting your boyfriend stolen so easily. I will say one nice thing about you. You're proving really useful for finding me a fresh supply of guys. You're hardly in a position to look down on me. When you're the one who keeps getting abandoned, left, miserable, alone, and full of envy every time. What do I have to be envious about? If anything, I'm grateful you're doing me a favor. Why the hell would I want to be with the kind of guy who'd get involved with my own sister behind my back? I wish you all the best. You and Darren are both scum, so you deserve each other. Whoa, scary. Is it any wonder you keep getting dumped with a mouth like that? You're about as feminine as a tractor engine. The only reason I'm speaking like this is because of you. And believe me, this is me holding back. You have no idea how badly I want to let you have it. It's taking a lot of self-restraint for me not to call you every name under the sun right now. Wow, thanks. I'm honored and privileged you feel so strongly about me. Meh, whatever. Darren's never coming back, no matter how much you cry, so who am I to stop you venting? You go, girl. Yo, Elsa, my dearly beloved sister. Guess what? Guess what? Darren popped the question. You want to see a picture of my ring? 24-karat gold. It cost over $10,000. That's my Darren. He's the cream of the crop, so he can afford to treat his girl like royalty. Elite, I tell ya. I don't want to see any pictures, and I couldn't care less about you getting married. I'd appreciate if you didn't give me random updates on your personal life from now on. I already canceled our engagement. Me and him are strangers now. Aw, is someone putting on a brave face? That's admirable, sis, but I know you're secretly super interested in how things are between me and your ex. Shall I invite you to the wedding? As unfortunate as you are, I guess we are still family. Why would I be interested in watching a bunch of morons drink too much and make fools of themselves? I'd rather stick pins in my eyes. You're free to do what you like, but there's absolutely zero chance of me going. Wow, rude. I think I was kind enough to consider inviting you. Fine, you're not invited. You better not show up. You two would be bad enough on your own. But the idea of seeing Mom and Dad's faces after they gave you the go-ahead to steal my fiancé makes me sick. I don't think of any of you as family anymore. You have nothing to do with me as far as I'm concerned. You're strangers. I wouldn't look twice if we passed each other in the street. Fine by me. You know this is what I've always wanted. You're unnecessary. Mom and Dad are happy as long as they have me. Think about it. Why would they need a rude, unsociable cave troll like you around when they have a perfect, gorgeous daughter like me? It's worrying how effortlessly saying malicious, insulting, hurtful things about people seems to come to you. Do you enjoy making fun of me that much? I wouldn't say I'm making fun of you. I'm just telling it like it is, you know? I want you to know your place. My place? And who are you, the freaking queen? I might not be royalty, but I am leagues above you when it comes to being a woman. You wouldn't even know the meaning of the word femininity. But for some reason, you still have the nerve to try and compete with me? Do you have any idea who you're messing with? I'm the personification of grace and elegance. If you look up feminine in a dictionary, there's a picture of me. I think it's actually sad how you have a chance against me. The things I say might sound mean, but all I'm trying to do is stop you from embarrassing yourself. It's better that you understand how defective you are than go around with false pretensions. I'm sorry, Your Highness, but who gave you the right to preach to me? You really think you're God's gift to humanity, don't you? Like you're the chosen one, free to look down on and cast judgment on all others as you see fit? Have you even looked at the situation? I'm as happy can be. Meanwhile, you're alone, miserable, depressed, and constantly angry. Are you even self-aware? I'm so high above you that you may as well be invisible. You should be thankful I'm even using my valuable time to try and help you right now. Go on, admit it. You're jealous. Jealous of you? Please don't flatter yourself. As far as I'm concerned, you're the most despicable human being on the whole planet. Oh, so you're not jealous, huh? We'll see about that. You know, me and Darren have already booked a venue for the wedding. It's a super popular spot with a picturesque ocean view. Apparently top-ranking celebs and influencers get married there all the time. They do? Cool, don't care. You don't care? Of course you do. You're just too ashamed to admit it. Don't worry, you can look at my Peatbook page if you want to see pics of the place. I've been posting about it all the time lately. Like hell I'd look at your social media. What are you even trying to do here? Make me mad by bragging? Can you blame me? Anyone would want to brag about getting married at such an amazing place. Do you know how hard it is to rent out? Not only is there a huge waiting list, but it's also about 50 times more expensive than most other places. Thank God I'm marrying an elite player at a major global company. Best decision of my life. You seem to be misunderstanding something here. Darren really isn't as amazing as you seem to think he is. Geez, Elsa, have you no class? Insulting your ex just because he dumped you? It's kinda sad. Listen, you're free to overestimate him if it makes you feel good, but I'm telling you, you're wrong. Wow, you're an even bigger sore loser than I thought you were. I knew it. This is affecting you more than you're letting on, isn't it? You must be hurting deep inside to be acting like this. Aha, I've got it. Shall I introduce you to some new guys to make you feel better? I'm so kind that I'd be willing to introduce you to a bunch of my exes who I broke up with. They'd be a perfect match for you. I'd rather you didn't. You know Darren's buddy Evan? I have a feeling he has the hots for me. But I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot barge pole, so I'll do you a solid because I'm so thoughtful and introduce you. He doesn't have a girlfriend, as far as I know. Can you read? I said I'd rather you didn't. That's a favor I most certainly did not ask for. Oh, I see. Fine, have it your way. Be single and lonely your whole life for all I care. Me and Darren are about to achieve happiness of the kind you could only dream about. So please, don't get even more jealous than you already are and start lashing out. Hey, Elsa, what the hell do you think you're doing? You were just lurking around the wedding venue, weren't you? Are you wearing a white dress at my wedding? Is this your spiteful way of getting revenge against me? What's wrong, Jenny? Aren't you getting a little emotional here? Today is my wedding day! My wedding day! You're not welcome, so you need to go the hell away, right now. Why would you even come here? You're sick in the head. You turned down my invite, remember? Go home. You're not on the list. Oh, you're getting married today? So it was you getting married in the smallest hall they have to offer. One thing's for sure, the hall I picked is a hell of a lot nicer than yours. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? I'm getting married today, in the biggest hall. What? Here? Why would you be getting married here? Because today's my wedding day. Liar! You're a sick, twisted liar. It's only been half a year since I stole your fiancé, so how is that even possible? I gotta give you credit, sis. I'm surprised you managed to stay together that long. Your relationships don't normally last longer than 2 weeks. Who's the groom? Someone you know. Evan. I seem to recall you offering to introduce us back then. Huh? Is he that guy you were with at the barbecue? That was Evan? Yep. He asked me out after I broke up with Darren, and we've been dating ever since. We decided to get married after a whirlwind romance, and, well, the rest is history. No, you're rushing things. This is too early. You've barely even known each other 5 minutes. We started dating pretty much immediately after I found out you were getting piped by my fiancé behind my back, which means we've been dating more or less as long as you and Darren have. Does that mean it's too early for you guys too, or does your weird logic only apply to me? Ugh, whatever, forget that. Why are you getting married in the biggest hall they had to offer? With no regard for me? That's not fair. Do you know how hard it was for me to get a reservation on this place? How the hell did you end up getting the best one when I booked ours first? Oh, you struggled? I'm so sorry to hear that, sweetie. You see, we didn't have any problems getting a reservation at all. Why not? Evan's dad's a successful entrepreneur who runs several businesses. One of the companies he's the CEO of just so happens to be the parent company of the company who provided the wedding venues. Which is why, with a word from Evan's dad, they were willing to be flexible with us. What? You heard me. Evan's the CEO's son. It's just like they say. It's not what you know, it's who you know. It might not be fair, but, well, sorry, honey. I really couldn't care less. That's why we have the highly sought-after, mega-spacious, ultra-luxurious hall all to ourselves. You're lying. You have to be. I had no idea Evan had money. Seems like he does. You mean you went out of your way to get married at the same venue as me so you could rub your rich new husband in my face? Not only that, but you made a point of reserving the most expensive wedding hall on the same day as my wedding? Ugh! Go to hell! Wait a sec. Is someone, by any chance, feeling a little perturbed, upset, troubled, disconcerted? Are your jimmies rustled, sweetie? Oh yeah, how could I forget? You were bragging like it was no one's business about the amazing wedding venue you booked, weren't you? I guess it's only natural that you'd be upset to discover your cave troll big sister had booked a bigger, more extravagant hall at the same venue on the same day. Ugh, shut up. Just shut up. I can't believe you found a richer husband than me just to get your own sister back because I got under your skin. You're so petty. You're just using him as a tool to fulfill your twisted revenge fantasies. You're pure evil. Okay, fine. I admit it. Maybe I did go out of my way to book our wedding at the same place as yours so I could rub it in your face. But the only reason I went ahead with it is because Evan said he wanted me to do whatever would make me happy. In other words, he loves me. He thinks a lot of me, and I love him too. Lies, lies, and more lies. You wish I was lying. I bet you couldn't believe your luck when a guy with money miraculously showed an interest in you. I know your game. You're trying to upstage me, aren't you? You're probably plotting to let my guests know that you're getting married in a bigger hall than me on the same day, aren't you? You're trying to embarrass me. I just know it, you scheming witch. How do you sleep at night to think you're actually getting married just to get your own sister back for me stealing your man? Have you considered how Evan's gonna feel when he finds out he's being manipulated and used like a puppet on a string? You're the biggest scumbag there ever was. Those are some interesting assumptions you're making there, Jenny. Thing is, I'm not marrying him to get back at you. Evan's super kind, sweet, and thoughtful, and he treats me like a princess. That's why we're getting married. It's because I want to spend my life with him. That I get to rub it in your face is just an added bonus. Besides, he knows all about what went down between me and you. Wait, does that mean he knows we're getting married at the same venue on the same day? And he's okay with it? So you're trying to screw me over as a team? He's super understanding and cooperative. I feel so lucky to have such a thoughtful and considerate partner. I get it now. He's deluding himself. He thinks you love him, but really all you're doing is using him as part of your twisted revenge plot. You don't love him at all. We'll see how long you last once the rush of embarrassing me wears off and he's served his purpose. I love him. We've grown closer and closer ever since we met. Apparently, he'd had eyes for me for a long time and was waiting for a chance to introduce himself to me so we could get to know each other. I should have gotten rid of that lowlife Darren and started dating Evan ages ago. Lowlife? Darren is not a lowlife. He's a top executive at a major global company. Global. You do know that, right? My man's riding the highway to success at full speed and no one can stop him. Vroom! Oh, what's that? I can't hear you over the sound of how well things are going for us. Face it, Evan only has money because of his dad anyway. My Darren's self-made and the sky's the limit. He's gonna be way richer than your wet noodle of a husband before long. He's elite, I tell ya, elite. You say that, but it seems like you really had to tighten the budget when it comes to booking your wedding. You spent so much on hiring out the smallest hall this place had to offer. I bet you couldn't afford to spend much on anything else. No, we're planning to go on a honeymoon together. Oh, really? Where to? Hawaii! We're going to stay there an entire week. Ah, I see. I guess the chances of us bumping into each other aboard are slim then. Evan and I are going on a nice, relaxing, round-the-world cruise. First, we go to Europe, then to the Middle East, then Asia. The list goes on, but it's so comprehensive I forgot. We'll be gone for a month. A cruise ship? Wait, aren't cruise ships expensive? Well, I guess these things don't come cheap, but to tell you the truth, I don't know. You see, Evan's the one who arranged the trip and saw to it that everything was paid for, so I have no idea how much it cost. You don't know? Bullcrap. Even if he paid for it all, surely he'd tell you how much it was. Apparently his dad helped out with the money. On top of the money he contributed to the wedding fund itself, he included an extra chunk and told us to splash out on something lavish for the honeymoon. And that's not all. Evan said his pop's even going to pay for us to have ourselves a new house built. Oh, to be rich. Surely going around the world on a cruise ship is going to cost a freakish amount of money. That's just excessive. How can you guys be so irresponsible? There are starving kids in the world, and there you are blowing ungodly sums of money on unnecessary, extravagant honeymoon projects. I bet you're only doing this to make me jealous. You're even more sick and twisted than I thought. Gotta go, sweetie. The wedding's about to start. See ya. No, wait. You don't get to just end the conversation when you feel like it. We're not done here. Oh, yes, we are. We both have weddings to enjoy after all. We'll both remember today for the rest of our lives, for all sorts of reasons. Wow, Jenny, I have never seen a bride barge their way into someone else's wedding like that before. It was embarrassing watching you get restrained by the staff and escorted out. I was sure I heard something that sounded like a dress ripping. Are you okay? Do not screw me around, you low-life scumbag. How low do I have to sink before you'll be satisfied? Don't think I didn't see it, your dress. It was the one I had to give up on because it was too expensive, wasn't it? Oh, so you did notice. Yep, it's part of the Silky Peeps Excellence range. Can you believe I got married in one of the most luxurious wedding dresses money can buy? I feel like I'm dreaming. Now that you mention it, I do recall it being the one you had your heart set on, but had to give up on because your budget just didn't cut it. How did you know I gave up on that dress? You told your friend about it, right? Well, it just so happens that friend leaked a bunch of your private information on a secret Peep Book account. Who was it? And how do you know about their secret account? That's for me to know and you to find out. I knew because I made all sorts of preparations in advance of the wedding. Every I was dotted, every T crossed. Besides, you don't exactly have the most trustworthy friends, do you? Birds of a feather really do flock together, huh? She did nothing but talk crap about you on that account. She said she spent 95% of the time you were together cringing because you did almost nothing except brag about how amazing your life was. The whole dress thing was included in her ranting. What? To quote a few of the spicier posts, that bitch does nothing but show off. It's pathetic. She thinks she's hot stuff just because she somehow managed to bag herself a rich husband. He can't have been that rich, though. Otherwise, she wouldn't have had to give up on that wedding dress she never shut her damn foghorn of a mouth about. She's making fun of you for being so high on your own pretensions of being some kind of celebrity. Who is she? Whoever it is, I'll kill her. Tell me. Does it really matter? It could be any number of people. You know full well she's not the only one you bragged about your oh-so-amazing life to. Pick any guest at your wedding today. They may smile and wish you well to your face, but when you're not looking, they all make fun of you. You're a laughingstock. To them, you're nothing but the predatory bimbo who stole her sister's husband. Who are they? I want names. I want names of every last person who ever made fun of me behind my back. I'll have them all kicked out. Don't you have more important things to be worrying about right now? You know, like your own wedding? I'd be surprised if they even let you go ahead with it after what you did. You might not have noticed, but you smashed a bunch of decorations when you barged into my wedding and started flailing around like an escaped mental patient. I wonder what your husband's parents think about their new daughter-in-law after she embarrassed their son like that on his wedding day. It wasn't my fault. You provoked me. You're the one who started this fight. All I did was react. Even if, for argument's sake, I did provoke you, do you really think that justifies what you did? There's no excuse. That was barbaric, pure and simple. You owe the wedding company money for all the stuff you broke. And I suggest you pay up ASAP. As you know, these wedding halls are luxury, which means the stuff you broke doesn't come cheap. Something tells me you're gonna owe them a lot of money. Whatever, like I care. My husband will pay it for me. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I forgot to tell you something. It's about my scumbag ex-fiancé. Remember when I told you you were overestimating him? You called me a sore loser, but I can assure you that's not why I said it. Sure, I remember. So what? Get to the point. The only reason he was considered elite was because he was helping me with my job. You know how he and I used to work at the same company? Well, he occupied a role which consisted entirely of supporting me the whole time I was there. That's the only reason his sales numbers were high. What? Are you being serious? You actually think I'm gonna fall for a lie this crappy? Do you really enjoy harassing me that much that you'd stoop this low? I'm sure he wishes I was lying. I heard from some of my old coworkers lately that he's not pulling in the same numbers he used to. Apparently he's in a real slump. Forget the highway to success, he's on the dirt road to demotion. Looks like he's not that special without me there to prop him up after all. Maybe if you had anything resembling a brain cell in between those ears of yours and were able to support him like I did, things would be different. Support? What kind of support? Things like document creation, things like slideshows and charts, and gathering recent data on customer purchasing trends. I pretty much did anything and everything he needed me to ensure his work went smoothly. He was prone to making mistakes, so I always made sure to anticipate things that could go wrong for him and warn him in advance. If you think you can do all that, by all means, go ahead. There's no way I can. I wouldn't even know where to start. I've never done anything like that before. Right? Who knows what the future has in store for you two now? You mean he's not on the highway to success? You mean he's not gonna get richer? What's gonna happen to us? Oh no, I didn't make you anxious, did I, sweetie? I'm just telling it like it is, What choice did I have? If you must insist on trying to compete with me, I have no choice but to put you in your place. The things I say might sound mean, but all I'm trying to do is stop you from embarrassing yourself. After that, there were a couple of issues between Jenny and the wedding venue staff, but luckily for her, they allowed her to go ahead with her wedding. However, according to one of my old coworkers who was there as a guest, she was in a foul mood from start to finish, and the atmosphere was so tense you could cut it with a knife. Not only that, but apparently word that I, the sister whose husband she stole, was holding a far larger, more impressive ceremony at the same venue made its way to the guests. She became the laughingstock of her friends, who all secretly hated her. To add insult to injury, the wedding company demanded $20,000 in compensation to make up for all the stuff she broke after barging into my wedding hall and flipping out like a lunatic. With that, her relationship with her new in-laws deteriorated in an instant, and they've been at each other's throats ever since. I heard from a friend of a friend that Darren had reached his wit's end with her within 3 days of tying the knot, and their married life is the stuff nightmares are made of. But even still, with Jenny being as proud and sensitive to the opinions of others as she is, she'd rather endure a frosty atmosphere at home than suffer the shame of divorcing so soon after getting hitched, out of fear of what people might think. As for me, you'll be pleased to hear I cut my family out of my life once and for all. And now, Evan and I are enjoying married life together. I've never been happier.
Hi, Brooke. Can I talk to you for a minute? I need to get something off of my chest.
What's up, Mom? Is everything alright?
It's about Josie.
How has she been? I spoke to her a little while ago. She told me not to worry about her. She seems to be doing okay.
Josie must be saying she is okay because she doesn't want you to worry about her. She acts strong, but I know she is still shaken. That poor thing.
Well, no one ever thought she would get into an accident like that. Her life changed in an instant. She must still be in disbelief that she can no longer walk. I mean, I would be if I were her.
She does go out more often, though. I think it helps her get her mind off some negative thoughts.
Oh, that's great. Good for her. I think that's a good sign that she is still spending time outside of the house.
I think so, too. But, she's not ready to work yet.
Is that so? I guess it's inevitable. It's only been a year since she got into the accident. I'm sure she has a lot to figure it out.
I know, but it's hitting us hard. Her insurance covers most of her medical costs, so that's been helpful. But we don't have a regular income. I've been taking money from what your father left us, although I'd like to keep my hands off of it as much as possible, or else I won't have anything in case of an emergency. I don't know how we are going to get by if we continue on like this.
It costs so much just to stay alive, doesn't it?
I'm just worried for the two of us, I have to make sure I cut down on groceries even though I want Josie to eat healthy. It's making me dizzy thinking about money all the time.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Mom. I didn't know you were struggling so much. Do you need me to pitch in? I can't provide a lot, but I can send some allowances every month if that helps.
Are you sure?
Yeah, of course. It'll help you two get by, right?
Truth be told, I reached out because I was wondering if it was possible for you to help us, but I was hesitant to ask. I feel ashamed having to ask my daughter for money. Oh, how wonderful for you to offer. You are such a great big sister to Josie.
I'm not offering because I'm the big sister. I just want to help, as family, especially because I'm so far away from you guys. I feel bad that I am no longer around to assist you or Josie. It's the least I can do for you two, and I'm sure Josie would do the same if it was the other way around.
Thank you so much, honey. You don't know how much it means for you to offer. You are such a lifesaver. I will not forget this, and neither will Josie.
How much do you need?
Let's see. Do you think you can send us 1,500?
1,500? A month? That's a lot of money.
Sorry, I'm asking for too much, aren't I? Of course, I'm considering to work more shifts at my part-time job, but Josie needs my help getting around, so it's difficult to balance my schedule between her appointments and my shift.
I don't know, Mom. I wish I could send you the amount you need every month, but I think 1,500 is a bit too much for me.
I'm not saying you have to support us forever, just until Josie is able to find herself a job, which I am sure will happen very soon.
How soon, though? Do you know if she has any plans?
She said she aims to find something by spring, so it's only a couple of months. What do you think? Do you think you'll be able to help us if you know that it's just temporary? We're even cutting down on using the AC. Utilities are so expensive these days. Please help your mother and sister.
Fine, but it would be great if Jonesy can find a way to start working as soon as possible. Can you try to talk to her about it? I don't want to force her after what she's been through, but 1,500 is a lot for me to give, so we need to work as a team and try to motivate her to start working.
I completely understand. Thank you so much, Brooke. We really appreciate your generosity. I will do everything I can so that she will want to start to work very quickly. But, is this okay if we keep this between us? I'm afraid she would get upset to find out you send us money.
She doesn't have to know. I don't want her to feel pressured to work.
Oh, Brooke, you have such a big heart. I don't know how to thank you. I am so sorry about this. I wish I had enough to support Josie on my own.
It's okay. None of this is your fault, Mom. It was a freak accident. She didn't purposely crash her car on the icy road. As much as it's hard to understand, it was just bad luck.
I know. It's hard to believe all the bad conditions align at the exact moment. The cat jumping out of nowhere, the icy road, and the telephone pole right in front of her. What are the odds, right?
Bad luck is such a light phrase, but it was really just that. Despite everything that's happened, though, we should be proud of Josie for going through the slow and painful physical therapy. She's doing her best, so let's not try to pressure her too much.
You're right. It's the only thing we can do for her. Thank you again, Brooke, and I'm sorry. You don't need to rush sending the first 1,500. The transfer can wait until you get your salary next month.
Okay, Mom, but I can't not send money knowing you are limiting yourself from using the AC. Anyways, I'll see what I can do. Tell Josie I said hi. Mom? I need to ask you something.
Hi, Brooke. What is the matter?
Isn't Josie able to work now? My friend who owns a bar near you guys says she sees Josie come in all the time. She tells me that she seems very happy and well. Are you not telling me something? You know, I'm cutting down on my own fun events so I can save money to send them your way. Don't tell me that some money is being used for her party.
Brooke, please, you have to give her a break. She is really trying hard to find a job, but she's been turned down so many times because of her disability. She is in a no-one-wants-me mode right now. That's why her friends ask her out often, so they can cheer her up. Please don't get mad.
Is she looking for a job? She just hasn't found one?
That's correct. But you know, there are limitations for her because of her wheelchair, and she has to take days off on a regular basis so she can go to physical therapy. On top of that, she doesn't want to change her profession, so it's hard to find a place that would hire her that also meets her requirements. You should see how stressed she has been because of the situation.
Yeah, but
Please, Brooke, she's been through a lot. Let her enjoy herself from time to time.
I'm not saying she can't take a break, of course, but I am having a hard time supporting myself too. Will it not help if she was less picky? Perhaps she can try something new, even as a part-time. There are plenty of jobs out there that allows working from home. It won't matter if she's on a wheelchair or not.
I don't know if she would like working from home. She used to be so active and really enjoy interacting with people, remember? I think she is looking for a similar work environment regardless of her wheelchair. And she wants to work full-time, not part-time.
Well, she needs to work to live. I understand it's not fair that she has a limited selections of jobs, and I really wish reality was different for her, but she can't be picky forever. Should I help her look? Maybe I can help find something for her in my field. I know a couple of recruiters who could help. I should ask her if she's interested.
Wait, please don't talk to her about work right now. It's driving her crazy. I think she received another decline from a company she interviewed for a couple of days ago. She is emotionally unstable right now, so please give her more time.
I get it, but I can't support you guys for long. She said she will find something by spring. Winter is over soon, and I'm almost broke, Mom.
I know, sweetheart. I'm so sorry. I will make sure she finds something before you get into any troubles. I promise. I know you have done so much for us, but just a bit longer, please. You don't want to pressure your baby sister into doing something she's not comfortable doing, do you? She become outgoing.
I guess not.
She's become outgoing and looking for a job. It's amazing she has pushed herself this far, considering how negative she was after the accident. Do you remember? She wouldn't listen to anybody. I don't want her to feel the way she did back then. I know you don't either, Brooke.
Of course not. Ugh, you're making me feel guilty now. You know what? Fine. I won't force her into anything. It's just that I am working really hard to send you guys $1,500 every month. I really need you to understand that and help Josie find something right away.
You have no idea how thankful I am for you, sweetheart. I will forever be grateful for what you have done. If it wasn't for you, Josie and I wouldn't be eating decent meals every day. I promise to make your life easier soon. I'm going to work more shifts too.
I'm sorry, Mom. I wish I had better pay so that you don't have to work so much. I wish I was with the two of you so I can take some weight off of your shoulders. I feel so selfish now. I'm sorry.
Please, Brooke, don't say that. You are not selfish and have nothing to be sorry about. I know you work very hard for us. I know you think about us so much even though you are far away. That is more that I can ask of you.
Thanks, Mom. I appreciate you taking care of her. I hope you find yourself some time to relax as well.
I will try. Oh, and Brooke, if you ever message her, please try not to talk about work. It would be best for her if you can keep the conversation casual. Just ask her about how she's feeling, or about her friends maybe.
I get it, Mom. I won't say anything to add to her stress. I will talk to you again soon.
Hey, Brooke, do you have a minute? I want to ask you about something.
Hey, Josie, how are you? What's up?
I'm thinking about traveling overseas next month. Where do you recommend I go? You've traveled to much more places than I have, so I thought I'd ask you.
What? Overseas? You're going on vacation?
I would like to, yes. Ever since I lost my mobility, I kept telling myself I can't travel anymore. But recently, I've started to think, why not? I can still travel as long as I get some help. There are plenty of barrier-free places I can visit around the world, right? And I even think that if I can come traveling overseas, then it would help me gain confidence for what I can do, you know?
Wait a second. Listen, I understand what you're saying. I am very happy that you have found something you want to try, and I do think it's a great way to gain confidence, but...
Oh, come on, Brooke. Don't be negative with me, please. I've gotten to the point where I think my life is not so bad after all. I'm starting to enjoy myself again, which I couldn't after the accident. My friends have been great too. They asked me to join them for drinks, which helped me forget all the bad things that has happened over the past years.
Josie, listen. I hate to say this, but isn't there something you need to do first? I'm glad you're happy now, but you're an adult. As an adult, you have responsibilities, you know. You can't be serious about traveling when you live off allowances. Allowances? What allowances? I don't get any. What are you talking about? Who gives you allowances? Oh, sorry, never mind. Forget what I just said. Brooke, what are you talking about? Is there something you need to tell me? Damn it, I forgot you didn't know. I promised Mom I wouldn't spill this to you. You just got me with your traveling plans. Brooke, did you send allowances? I do, actually. Mom told me a little while ago that you guys were having a hard time getting by. She told me how you guys were holding back from using the AC to save some money, so I had to do something to help. What? No way. Brooke, this is bad. I don't believe this. Huh? Mom is lying. She's taking our money. We're not having any trouble getting by. I pay most of her living costs anyways. Huh? But Josie, you don't even work. Where do you get the money to pay for her? Did she tell you that I don't work? Of course I do. I've been working from home for the past 6 months. It's not a full-time position since I have to go back and forth between home and the hospital for my treatments, but I earn enough to get by. Besides, my insurance helps me pay off for the treatments, and I also have some savings before the incident. Mom told me that you haven't been ready for work until recently. Recently, she said you've been having a hard time finding one, and that you were very stressed about it, and I believed her because you kind of brushed me off every time I messaged you. I'm sorry if I seemed cold. I didn't mean to brush you through. I was just trying to act tough. I didn't want you to treat me like a poor baby sister who couldn't walk anymore. I was trying to act independent, but I guess my acting skills sucked. Plus, truth to be told, I have realized that I was a bit jealous of you and everyone else who lives a normal life. It's not fair to take it out on you, but since you're my sister, I was a bit scared my jealousy would take over my rationality, so I wanted to distance myself from you. Until now. Josie, you could have told me. I would have accepted you no matter what. I'm sorry it took me forever to get over myself. I always knew you were reaching out for me. It's okay. I understand, and it's my fault that I have dumped everything on Mom's shoulders. Oh my God, what are we going to do about her? She's been dependent on my salary too. That's why I've been secretly planning to leave this house. I've become afraid that if I continue to live with her, she would use all my money. How can she do that? Lie to me about you so she can use my money while using yours as well? What has gotten into her? It's unbelievable. Josie, I really wish you would have told me sooner that she was financially dependent on you. I do too, but I couldn't. I didn't want to tell on her. I have felt that I owe her too much. I moved in with her after the accident because I couldn't get around on my own anymore. She really did help me the first couple months, especially when I was depressed. I have finally come to my senses recently and begun to think something is not right with her, but I never imagined that she would fool you for money. Well, I have a suggestion. If you're planning on moving out, why don't you come live with me? What? I can't ask you to do that. I don't want to be a burden to you. My condo is not big, but I do have an extra room. It has to be better than living with Mom. I will respect your independence 100%. If you'd like to move on after a while, that is totally up to you too. You can move out whenever you feel ready. The most difficult part might be moving across the country, but I will help you with that if you need. I'm happy to take a couple days off for you. Thank you so much, Brooke. Are you sure though? Yes, I am. I don't want to cause you any trouble, but that sounds like a great idea. I won't be nauseous to you, I promise. It's all right. You are my little sister. Let me do my part and help you. I will do so much better than Mom.
Brooke, help! I haven't been able to get a hold of Josie for the past 2 days. I don't know where she is. Should I call the police? I don't know what to do.
It's all right, Mom. Josie is with me. She is safe.
What? She is with you? Where? At your place?
Yes.
Why didn't anyone tell me about this? What is going on?
We moved the last bit of her belongings yesterday. She will be living with me going forward.
What? How is that possible? Have you forgotten she is on a wheelchair? How are you going to take care of her? And why am I finding out about this now?
Take care of her? Funny how you make it sound as if you take care of her. Didn't you just come back from vacation? I know you have been away, enjoying yourself.
Brooke, it's complicated. I couldn't turn this one down.
Complicated? How is it complicated?
You know, I have to socialize and build relationships with people that benefits us. You never know when you will need to ask them favors, like to get help for Josie.
Stop giving me crap, Mom. You know how it looks to me? It looks like you took money from me to go on vacation instead of taking care of Josie. And that's why you didn't even realize your daughter was moving out.
I can't keep Josie company every single moment. I need to take time off as well, just like you suggested before, remember? Or what? Do you prefer that I work 24/7 without any breaks? You don't know anything about the life I live with your sister. I have my own stress too.
Well, then you should be glad now. You won't have any more stress from taking care of her because she will be living with me.
Brooke, you work full-time. You can't take care of your sister like I do. Besides, there's so much more space here. I even renovated the bathroom so she has easier access.
No, that was Josie's money. Do not pretend you paid for any of that. And in case you haven't noticed yet, Josie doesn't need us to take care of her. She has learned to get most things done on her own and prefers it that way.
Honey, you live in a condo. It will be too hard for Josie to get around with such little space. She belongs here, with me in my house.
You don't get to decide where she belongs. She made her own choice to move in with me. Josie is satisfied with the environment I can provide with her. By the way, what excuse do you have for stealing my money? How could you trick your own daughter?
I didn't trick you. We really didn't have enough to get by, I swear.
Josie told me she gave you $1,000 per month too. You don't have any mortgages to pay. You have your own part-time job, and you should be receiving Social Security. So explain to me what was so expensive that you even had to cut down on the AC. Why? Did you need an additional $1,500 from me? Go on, explain yourself.
The general cost of living has risen over the years, and I'm old. I have different needs.
Like what? You never said anything about your needs. Why didn't you want to use what Dad left you? You succeeded a significant share of his savings.
There were things I need to cover. There's not much left.
What? How is there not much left?
You haven't been around enough to know. I was just doing what's best for Josie and I. Besides, what is your problem, Brooke? Why are you being so cheap? Are you saying you care more about your money than your family in need? I don't see anything wrong with asking my children for financial support. I raised both of you. You should be grateful. I have earned the right.
Well, then you should have just said so in the first place. I would have rather have you tell me the truth about using up Dad's money than find out later you lied. Why did you lie, Mom? What did you use the money for?
Brooke, listen. I am sorry I didn't tell you the truth. It was wrong of me, but I swear I wasn't lying about having a hard time getting by.
Josie told me you were even interested in what her insurance was paying her. She said that you began to splurge on things after she moved in. You would go on trips all the time and buy new brand items using our money.
I have been using my time to take care of her. Don't you agree I deserve something back? I have sacrificed so much.
Josie has been taking care of herself. Maybe you helped her right after the accident, but that was only for the first couple of months. She had to learn how to live by on her own quickly because you weren't home anyways.
I had to go to work.
You are not making any sense, Mom. You said you couldn't take on more shifts because you were busy taking care of Josie. Now you are saying you weren't home because you were working? What am I supposed to believe? We've had enough already. The least you can do is be honest with us right now. Admit it, Mom. You just used us for money as soon as you saw the opportunity. That opportunity being Josie losing her mobility. How low of you. I will not be giving you a penny from now on.
Brooke, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to use you or Josie.
I don't expect any money back from you, but I don't want to have anything to do with you. We're done. Josie and I are cutting you out of our lives.
Why? Please don't say that, honey. If I lose Josie and you won't help me either, I won't survive. How am I going to live?
Am I not surprised that you are more concerned about money than us cutting you out? Anyways, you should have used Dad's money more wisely. You have a job. Work and help yourself.
You're rich enough to send me $1,500 every month. Help me, please.
You have no idea how difficult it is to make money, do you? I wasn't sending you money because I'm rich. I was sacrificing my own life to support Josie. Because I wanted her to get through her hardships. I retained from buying what I wanted. I haven't dined out with friends in months. This is what I have gone through to create the money I have been sending.
Okay then, what about $1,000 or even $800?
Neither Josie or I will be sending you any money. Go work. That's all you need to do.
Brooke, please don't abandon your mother.
Too bad. You never should have tricked your daughters.
I am truly sorry. I will not lie to you ever again. Please forgive me. Don't cut me out, I'm begging you.
Sorry, Mom. We can't forgive you. We can't trust you anymore. How could we? You took money from your handicapped daughter. Good luck taking care of yourself now. My mother kept contacting the two of us for a while. She came clean that she used most of what our dad left her on gambling and shopping. Josie and I felt so ashamed of her. We think that maybe she spent all that money irresponsibly to fill the loneliness of losing her husband. Although, there's no excuse to trick her daughters, especially Josie, who has been through a lot since her accident. I sometimes wish she would have told us the truth, but I guess that wouldn't have made much differences in the end, since we would have asked her to work. It turns out that she quit her part-time job after Josie moved in with her. Now that she doesn't have any financial help from her daughters, she finally began to work again to support herself. I never replied, but she sent me a message saying she is going to change. I hope she can live up to her own words. Soon after joining me, Josie left to travel overseas for 3 months. As expected, she faced many hardships of being handicapped, but overall, it was a great experience for her. She says she was able to learn a lot through her travels and has become appreciative of the people willing to help her. I am so proud of my sister and how positive she remains after becoming handicapped. I can't imagine how hard it must be losing her mobility, but seeing Josie strive makes me want to become a better person myself. Josie seems to have found a new objective in life. She says she will continue to stay true to herself and work hard to make it come true. I'm very happy for her. And as her big sister, I will be by her side to support her in any way. If she never needs, that is.
Mariah, are you still doing okay with all your wedding preparations? Well, I'm making it along, I think. I was finally able to make a choice on a wedding dress just recently. I'll be getting it from a very famous dressmaker in France, so I'm looking forward to the final product. Really? What kind? Wait, send me a picture later. I want to be surprised when I see it. I can do that for you, but what's going on? These days you've really been asking me a lot about my wedding. I never really thought you'd care since you rarely talk like you care about weddings. Well, I can see that your wedding's going to be amazing. And the place you'll be holding it has a past of being the place that all actors and actresses go for their weddings, right? That's all really starting to pique my interest now. Well, originally this place was only meant for people that knew a friend who has a friend, that sort of thing. But recently they've opened the place to more standard weddings. So we settled on going for this wedding hall as it'll make for some amazing memories there. And because we'll be able to say we got married in the same place this actor did, and so on. Even having the ability to have a wedding there in the first place will leave you with great memories. Also, the one that actually got you into that place was your fiancé Jason, right? I'm sure if it were up to you, you'd have just chosen any other normal wedding hall, right? Huh? I mean, I guess so, but now that I've kind of seen how gorgeous the place is, I think it's worth the extra bit of money. You're so lucky. You get to be married to a handsome man who has lots of money. You really won the lottery this time, huh? I don't really think of it like that, though. Actually, you should be saying that about someone like him. Okay. You don't have to be so boring about it. But I'm just saying you always have had this sort of luck with finding good people. I just wish at least one time you would have given one of those guys to me. But that's why I'm saying compared to most of the men you've had, this Jason guy is on top. I would really say he's my type as well. I wonder if he's really the type of guy for you. Of course he is, right? He has a perfect face and works as a businessman, right? I honestly never thought you were the kind of person to ever go for a man that amazing. I just assumed you were into the more simple kind of men, like those guys you've had before. Good looking and all, but just working a regular 9 to 5. Will you ever be able to marry someone like Jason who'll be working with his business all day and night and might not ever be home half the time? Well, actually, Jason's not all that amazing. Are you kidding? I'm sorry, but I don't see him as just some normal dude. I know that you've dated all sorts of men that might have had some cool things about you. But Jason's the first guy you're dating that has money. Hey, you should show me to one of his friends. He has to have a few that are single now with a lot of money as well, right? I'm not sure if he has that many friends, actually. I can't work with this. Are you saying you want to be the only one out of us sisters to become happy? What makes you think that's what I want? I suppose I can go ask him if he has anyone he knows, but don't get your hopes up. Thank you. I want to get married pretty soon too, so that I don't get left behind. You don't have to be in that much of a rush, Carly. You're still a bit younger than I am. And you should spend a lot of that time finding the right person for you while also taking care of yourself. Well, I want to become a young and beautiful mama. And also getting married to a well-off man will bring me lots of ease. I won't have to worry about a house or work, just money in general. You're so lucky, right? Once you've gotten married to Jason, you're going to quit your job, right? I am not. I plan to continue working for as long as I can. Oh, wait, really? Things have really changed. You think so? I thought it was normal for couples to work jobs simultaneously even after marriage. I mean, prices for things have really gone up and such, so it only makes sense to work together to afford what you want. Well, when I get married, I'm never going to work again. You shouldn't say something like that just yet, though. You never know what the future's going to hold for you. Well, just make sure that you don't work to the point that Jason loses interest in you, okay? All you are to him is just some average working woman after all, so if you can't be home to clean the house and please him, he might start looking for someone else. That's so right, but I'll be fine. Jason has a dream he's chasing, and so we've both agreed we'd work together towards it. And that's fine, but... Well, anyway, I look forward to seeing that dress later. And once you have a plan of how the wedding will go, can you send it to me? Huh? You want to know the planning as well? That should be fine, right? I just want to know for future reference is all. Okay, but... Chloe, hey, what's all of this? Are you really going to tell me that you and Jason have had a thing together? Oh, you probably heard all of that from him then, huh? Well, thank goodness, because I was not looking forward to having to be the first to tell you. This is all a joke, right? There has to be a misunderstanding somewhere, right? We're serious. I'm so sorry, Mariah. But it seems that I am the one that Jason sees as fit to becoming his wife over you. You and Jason being in a relationship together only started after I said I'd be marrying him, right? That's right. Before you said anything about marriage, I didn't give a crap about him. I just assumed he'd be another one of those boring guys with base pay that you'd be getting with. But the fact that this time you decided it would be a handsome man with lots of money that you'd marry, I'd say that's all your fault. You should know better than to go after someone that's out of your league. I mean, you weren't even planning to become a housewife for him, even though he makes more than enough to support both of you. So, from the start, you've been planning on stealing him from me then. Well, come on, Mariah. I'm the far cuter sister of us two, and I'm willing to do anything to make him happy. And that makes me the better choice for him, right? And one other thing, I've gotten pregnant from him. So we have no other options besides taking responsibility for this. I have known for a very long time now that you're a sly and selfish person. But I never once thought you'd go this far to take something, or I guess this time, someone from me. Why do you always have to come in and take things that aren't yours? Because it's my right to. And I didn't even have to work hard for him. One day, I just happened to come across him, and we took a walk to the park, and the next thing you know, he and I are at the bar making out with each other. I'm so sorry for stealing your fiancé from you when you were so close to the wedding. Ugh. It's fine, I guess. We may have only just handed in our marriage papers, but if he decided to cheat on me that fast, then I don't need him. I'm sure you'll find better use for him now than me. No matter how you try and phrase it, I'm sure deep down you are raging over this, right? You're just trying to act tough now so that I can't enjoy the moment. I'm not raging, but rather just sad that something like this could happen. The fact that the man I planned to have a wedding with was stolen by a family member who stabbed me in the back is just depressing. You're not going to come to the wedding, right? Wedding? Right, your guys' wedding is only in a few more days, right? I'm thinking that I'll just take your place in it and get married to Jason there. Even though that's the wedding I put all my sweat and tears into? But listen, if you choose to cancel it right now, you'll have to pay a large fee. That'd be a huge waste of your money and time, right? And also, I've always wanted to have my wedding there. So I was just planning to change the name of the bride and then take it from you. I'm sure that wouldn't be a problem for you, right? Consider it like a present to me for getting married to the man of my dreams. So the whole reason you've been asking me about the wedding plans is because you planned to steal that from me too? And what if that was the plan? You really are the worst person imaginable. Do you not realize how this all affects other people? Mom, Dad, Jason's family, me? Well, in the end, it was Jason's choice, and he chose me. I never once forced him to say that he loves me. All I can say now is that you've lost this time. So don't try and make me feel bad about coming out as the winner here. He was the one that left you for me, right? And that was because of how basic you are, right? So that leaves you to blame. I'm the one to blame? Who else would be? If he really cared about being with you, he would have never chosen to leave you after getting married. I'm just saying that you didn't work hard enough for him. If you really wanted to keep him by your side, you should have been staying home every day and doing the chores, cooking his favorite food, and getting ready for bed with him. I don't ever want to see you again. Why don't you just plan your own dang wedding? I highly doubt any of the people that are planning to be at my wedding are going to be happy to hear that you went and stole it from me. Well, that's the thing. Mom was the one saying that all of this is okay with her. Huh? I'm sorry, but both Mom and Dad know about this. When I told them at first that I'd be marrying Jason after all, they were beyond shocked, but when they had a chance to think about it, they said they were okay with it. So they're both on my side, and I'm sure they'll let the rest of the family know that this is all okay as well. I doubt that means that they really are okay with you stealing him from me, though. No. They even told me that he's much better with someone like me rather than you. Is that so? I wonder if that's what they meant. Maybe that was just them saying that in a world where I was never with him, he might be a good match for you. Hey, can you make sure to handle the divorce paperwork and turn it in soon for me? We plan to get married tomorrow, so it'd be best if you have that handed in by the end of the day. I don't want to have any issues at the office with you not leaving him or something. I am really never going to see you again. Well, by doing that, you'd be saving me a lot of drama. Jason and I feel the same way about you anyway. We have no plans on ever having you around us while we're married. So please keep to yourself from now on. It'll make things so much easier. I will. Well, I look forward to becoming more happy than you soon. And send me your new house's address when you have to move out so that I can send you pictures of our wedding. Thank you so much for introducing me to such a perfect man. Hey, Mariah, are you okay? I heard all about this from Carly. That little girl really has no respect for anyone besides herself. And I was told by Jason that he does want to leave me. We've only been married for a month, and yet it's already over. This is the worst day of my life, Mom. What did I ever do to deserve this? Mariah, my husband was stolen from me, and now the wedding that I worked so hard on is being taken over. Can you believe this? This always happens when it comes to Carly. And she told me that you're completely fine with her marrying Jason? She told me that you guys said it was all okay? I wouldn't say we agreed with all of it. But come on, Mariah. Isn't it great that your sister and Jason get to be happy together? What? I was completely fine with you getting married to Jason, but your dad was a bit hesitant on saying that it was okay. About Jason? Yeah, your dad thinks he's not strong enough to be your husband. And that would make you the man of the house in the long run, right? I know that Jason told us he's a businessman and all. But doesn't that give you a little anxiety? He doesn't have the safety that some average 9-to-5 man has. And when it comes to things like living expenses, you'd be the one that would pay more while he's focused on his business, right? Well, anyway, I know that he has the possibility of coming out with a lot of money if he does well, but what about Carly? She's just working part-time right now. Do you really think things will go well for those two after marriage? Right, and yet Jason still chose her over me. I wonder what will happen to them. Who knows? I'm sure that this is all because Carly doesn't understand everything quite yet, right? She thinks that he has all this money, right? Now that you mention it, she did say that. She said that it was like I had won the lottery. Well, when she was talking to me about him, she never said a thing about his job or the money he's making. But she made it seem like he'd be the one to pay for the whole wedding. So I'm thinking, although the two of them are fine getting married, the marriage she thinks she'll be getting is far from the reality that'll be taking place. I really have no high hopes for them. But do you think that Jason would have told her the truth about all of this? Well, I think that Jason isn't in the right mindset to be saying things about himself that might turn her away. He might have even been eyeing her back when he was with you and lied about all his money so that she would take him. I think the moment he lied to her, she was in his pocket for marriage. But I'm sure he doesn't know about any settlements that might come out of this yet. Huh? That's not going to be something that'll happen, right? I think Carly expects him to do something stupid, and that she can use that as a way of getting money out of him. If that's not what she has planned, then I'm not really sure what she's in this for. If that's really what she wants from their marriage, then she really is a huge idiot. Right? Isn't this going to be great to watch play out? The two of those idiots are going to ruin themselves. Just thinking of it like that, well, it makes me feel a little bit better. Mariah, I know that right now things probably feel awful for you. And I bet you don't have the energy to move on right now, but it's going to be okay. Mom, your dad and I are here for you. We only let Carly have her way with Jason so that she can get what she deserves. We don't even plan to go to that wedding anymore, and we are going to cut ties with her once she realizes the mess she's made for herself. So, let's just support each other as we wait for the big ending. Hey, I'll even take you out tomorrow to meet this really nice lawyer that I know. You can just come along with me and listen while we meet him. Mariah, do you happen to know what day it is? Of course you know, right? It's the day of my wedding. After all, it's the day you had been preparing for us for so long. Why the hell have you decided to text me now? I was just thinking of how you might be at home, sobbing, and so I wanted to check on you. And right now I'm getting my hair done, so I have time to talk. I guess you have a bit of time still. By the way, did you guys hand in the marriage papers at the city office? We sure did. And so now I'm the new wife of Jason. Hey, you had said that Jason has a lot of money, but do you actually know how much he makes in a year? Well, I'm not sure, but if he's able to get a wedding hall like this for us, then he's at least making $100,000 right now, right? Well, no. He's only making $20,000 right now. Seriously? What kind of a joke is that? That wasn't a joke. I know that he said he's a businessman and is around a bunch of high-level people, but really he's more like a freelancer. I was even the one paying for his apartment for a while, and I was planning on paying for most of that wedding. And why would you ever have to be the one to pay that much money? All you are is an office worker. Well, yeah, I work as an office worker, but how does that make my salary low? Oh, please, I know better. You wouldn't actually be making more than Jason, right? I'm only telling you the truth right now, Carly. But if Jason really does have all the money you think he has, why would he be planning to move into your apartment with you? Well, he told me that you took the house from him. Well, that's because this house has been under my name ever since I bought it. So it seems you've been lied to. What the heck are you even talking about? All I can hear right now is a loser trying to make me come down to her level with her. Do you not realize that once we finish up this wedding, we plan to move into a new house? We've talked about living in a penthouse from where we'll have some of the best scenery. Well, that day's never coming. Jason already has nothing in his bank account, and he'll have to deal with a settlement from me for cheating. There's also the wedding costs that he'll need to pay now that I'm not there. You both are going to be living in money borrower's hell for a long time. There's no way that's happening. You really are having a rough time dealing with losing your man to me. And that's why you keep feeding lies like this to me. Mom and Dad are also very much aware that Jason isn't making much money. What? And that's why they ended up saying you both work so well together. You're also both just insufferable people to be around. So you really both are just perfect for each other. What you're saying is bullcrap, right? Not one bit. And also, here's another thing I've heard from Mom. Are you in some debt right now? If you expect Jason to be there to help you pay all of that off, I would really think again. Hey, why did I just hear from Jason that he's starting to catch on to some things? Well, I just told him. I said that he should watch out because you might be trying to take his money. But he's telling me right now that he's not going to help. What's going on? What have you done? So you were being serious about all of this then? I told you that everything I've said thus far has been the truth, right? You kept all this from me. What is wrong with you? There is no reason for me to even be marrying a guy who has no money. I won't even be able to get a settlement from him if he were to slip up. Well, have a great time at that wedding today. There's just no way I can have a good time now. Hey, Mariah, you're making more than Jason is, right? If so, do you think that you can lend me a small amount of money? I have no reason to do that for someone that's stolen my husband, right? Well, I don't need him now. You can have him back as long as you give me some money. I don't need a man like him either. He and I are just exes now. And also, you're pregnant with his baby right now, correct? You have to stay with him so that you can both raise that baby, okay? I'm not pregnant, though. Oh? So that was also a lie, then. Well, with the way things have turned out, I guess that doesn't matter. Mom, Dad, and I have all decided on cutting ties with you after all this as well. Mariah, I'm actually really sorry. Even if you apologize to me, there's nothing I can do for you. I had thought that you were going to be marrying a man with lots of money, and so I became jealous of that. And with the debt I've been in, I thought that Jason would be able to help me out, or at least I could get some money from him in a divorce if he didn't agree to help. And so because of that way of thinking, you decided to steal him from me and marry him? This all seems like the price you have to pay for being such a jerk. I'm sorry. I really am sorry. I really didn't do the right thing. I should have thought twice about this. What are you talking about? You're supposed to become happier than me now, right? I mean, I'm already pretty happy that you took that loser off my hands. So that means you should be even happier than I am by the end of today, right? Once Carly had stopped talking to me, she and Jason got into a huge fight in front of everyone at the wedding, and it ended up getting canceled. Of course, because this wedding ended up having a different bride than it was originally supposed to, Carly didn't invite many of her friends as she didn't want them to suspect anything, and the same goes for Jason. But for those that did come and those that already knew of him cheating on me, they all cut ties with both him and Carly. And now, Jason and Carly are going to have to pay me a settlement for the affair, and we'll have to deal with the cost of that wedding getting canceled. So together, the two of them borrowed an enormous amount of money from the bank in the hopes that it'd be enough to cover everything. But then Jason used most of that borrowed money on paying for the wedding and then some other debts of his as well. My parents knew that Carly would never get enough to pay me after Jason spent most of what they had, and so instead of cutting ties with her like they said before, they told her to go to work at one of the resorts they owned so that she could slowly save up the rest. However, once she has paid everything that I asked for to me, they said that they'd fire her from the resort and then never talk to her again. Also, once they had finished paying off most of the big fees and payments they needed to handle, the two of them got divorced. But this wasn't without them both going to court to fight each other for lying about their situations before the marriage. Even still, they'll come to find that both of themselves are equally to blame for this situation. So they would have been better off just staying together and starting fresh. As for myself, losing my husband and my wedding really ruined my spirits for a little while. But now, after seeing everything play out between those two, I can say that I've made it out of this with zero regrets. I'm sure that if I had stayed with him, something similar to what he did with my sister would have happened to me for sure. So having Carly steal him from me only a month into our marriage really made it way too easy for me to divorce Jason and make it out unscathed. For the time being, I'm not going to be looking for any love and will only focus on my work and my private life alone. I want to give my heart a little time to cool off after something as insane as all this happened. I'll also keep telling myself the same thing my sister would say, and that's that I always seem to be pretty lucky. Hi, Jane. Are you out right now? Yeah, what's up? Can you get me some sugar on your way back home? I guess Mom used it up this morning. Sure, I'll get some for you. Anything else to get? Do you mind getting me 3 cans of beer as well? And can you keep this a secret? Okay, but you shouldn't feel guilty about it. I understand that you want to get drunk sometimes. Well, I live with my parents-in-law. Plus, my husband doesn't drink at all, too. True, he's a lightweight. Mom and Dad don't drink much, too, so I feel sorry for drinking alone. There's no need to feel sorry, Claire. They don't drink because they can't drink. I drink sometimes, too. Yeah, it makes me glad when I see you drinking. But I don't think I see you going out for a drink often. Yeah, I go out for a drink once a month, maybe. No, actually once in 2 months might be more accurate. I can't go out to drink often because I'm married. But aren't you single, Jane? You should go out and play more often. It's kind of embarrassing to say this, but it's too tiring for me to put makeup on every time before I go out. I understand, but still. You know I work from home, right? I'm really an introvert, and I honestly prefer staying at home. If my company hadn't called me over, I wouldn't be out now in the first place. You wouldn't be able to meet your potential boyfriends if you don't go out. I know, this is probably why I'm still single. I see you putting makeup on every day, even when you don't have plans to go out, Claire. Of course I put makeup on every day. Isn't that normal for a lady? I can't imagine myself living my everyday life without any makeup on. Hopefully I'll feel the same in the near future. Jane, don't tell me that you go to the gym without any makeup on. Yeah, I don't put any makeup on because it's close by. And it'll become messy anyways with sweat after working out. No, Jane, you never know when you'll meet someone nice. You have to start putting makeup on from now on. Maybe, if I don't forget. Oh, Jane, you really should start thinking about your future. Huh? Are you going to live the rest of your life alone? What are you going to do after your parents pass away? Don't worry, I wouldn't cause any trouble for you and my brother. No, you don't understand. Marriage not always means happiness, but it would be hard to live alone with your career, Jane. Well, it's certainly not a stable lifestyle. A self-employed person like me. I don't think I'm in the position to judge, but you shouldn't depend on your parents too much. You're right. I'm sorry to make you worry. I'm glad you understand. I'm just worried, you know? I do have a vague idea about my future, so don't worry. I might seem a bit sloppy, but I am saving money for my future. That's nice to hear. And don't forget to get me some sugar on your way back home. Hey, Jane, have you done the laundry for me? Yep, all done. You didn't mix my laundry with the others, did you? Yeah, I separated your laundry from ours, so don't worry. Good. Also, get the food prep done so that I can cook dinner as soon as I get home. Steak and mashed potatoes for dinner tonight? Yeah, that would be nice. All right, I'll be sure to prep the food. But honestly, I feel like I'm doing most of your chores recently. I think I'm doing all your chores for you this week. Well, you stay at home, and it's not like you have a job. So I'm giving you housework to do. All the other family members are spoiling you too much, so I'm trying to provide you with some jobs to do. I do work from home, but that doesn't mean I'm slacking off. Actually, I'm gonna get busier. So I don't think I can complete your chores instead of you from now on. Be strict with yourself. You don't even earn much money from your job. You should at least help with chores and contribute to our family. I think I bring a decent amount of money to the household, though. I guess you believe it to be a decent amount. Even a child can earn more than you do. Aren't you embarrassed of yourself, living with your parents at your age? I admit that I do depend on my parents sometimes, but I am taking responsibility as an independent adult. You're definitely not independent enough. I'm embarrassed to have such an irresponsible sister-in-law. You should understand that you're an embarrassment to the family. Excuse me? Did you just tell me that I'm an embarrassment? What did I ever do to you? Your mother is really kind, but I overheard her the other day. I hope Jane finds someone nice to get together with. She wants you to leave the house, Jane. Well, I knew that she was worried about me, but I've had discussions about this with my parents, and it's a private matter between me and my parents. So I honestly don't understand why you're so harsh on me. I am your brother's bride, the only son's wife in this household, and I'm even living with my parents-in-law. I should have a say about family issues. Yeah, but wasn't it you who wanted to live with our family? You do understand that the younger generations nowadays don't have a lot of money to spend, right? I don't see any problems for us to live in your family's mansion where there's a lot of extra rooms. We don't mind you living with us, but to make things clear, we never asked you to live with us. Jane, are you even any use? I'm going to contribute to society by giving birth, but how about you, who's single? Living a sloppy life at your parents' house and bothering your parents? You seem to be an unproductive human being in society. I'm certainly not married and don't have plans to give birth, but what makes you so frustrated about me? I'm explicitly telling you this because no one words it clearly for you. I've asked my husband to tell you this, but he always says that you're very responsible. Everyone's definitely spoiling you too much. If that's what everyone says, I think it means that I'm pretty responsible. It's hard for them to criticize other family members. To sum it up, you should really understand your position in this household. You are no use in this household, Jane. At last, my husband, the only son of this family, will take over the family business. I don't think so. You're trying to take over the family business after all the trouble you caused for the family? Are you serious? Stop being so shameless. You're crazy. Did you know that? You should really understand that you're a useless parasite in this household. Jane, guess what I'm doing now? Huh? I don't know. You were still at home when I left, right? Yeah, I'm at home. Mom and Dad are on vacation, and my brother's also on a business trip, so I guess you're relaxing at home? Wrong. I'm cleaning your room, Jane. Huh? I'm packing your things so you can move out. Thank me later. Wait a minute. What do you mean you're packing my stuff? I decided that you should leave our house. Huh? You decided without my consent? My parents and my brother are going to panic if I leave without telling them. I don't think they will. They'll probably thank me when they get home. Just leave and stop bothering your parents, Jane. My husband and I will be in charge from now on. We'll take good care of Mom and Dad, so don't worry. All right. You really want to kick me out of the house, huh? Then I guess you'll have to pay $5,000 every month. If you can pay instead of me, I'll leave the house as you insist. Uh-huh, $5,000? Yep, the rent for this house. Rent? Don't we own this house? Nope, we are renting this house. We pay $5,000 every month for rental fees. My parents and my brother can't pay for our rent, so now that you're kicking me out, I assume that you'll cover for the rental fees? Why? Why will I be paying for the rent? That's because I'm in charge of paying the rental fees. You're kidding. That's not funny, Jane. Oh, I get it. You're delusional and believe that you're the one who's paying the rent. Or are you trying to make things up so that you can stay in this house? I'm actually paying the rent, though. Stop it, Jane. Enough with the bluff. I knew you were a weirdo. No decent adult would depend on their parents and bother them at your age. Okay, I'll pay. Just leave the house already. You said it. You'll regret it someday. Claire, are you there? I know I'm selfish for saying this, but could you please come back home? I assume you heard about the rent from my brother and parents? Yes. They told me that you were indeed paying for the rental fees. I'm so sorry. I thought you didn't have a proper job. Well, I never told you about my job. I didn't really mind being misunderstood by you, but I never expected to be kicked out of the house, though. I am very sorry. I never thought you earned way more than my husband. I heard you earn money from stock investments and from many other businesses as well. I never thought you were such a talented person. I'm not talented. It's just that I studied hard because I didn't want to go out and work. Please, give me a chance to apologize for everything I did. Could you please come back home? Well, I can go back to get the rest of my stuff I left at home. But I don't think I can bear living with you. Can you leave the house, Claire? I'm so sorry, Jane. Please don't say that. Claire, think about it. Do you remember all those insults and harsh words you said to me? I know that you weren't aware that I was supporting the household by paying the rent, but your attitude was really rude, Claire. Yes, I'm very sorry for my rude attitude. If you had told me beforehand, I would have never done that to you, Jane. Maybe I should have told you about my career. But I have my reasons. When people hear about the money I make, they start contacting me for their benefit. Even relatives try to take advantage of me. It's not like I didn't trust you, Claire. When you started living with our family, it had only been a year since you married my brother. So I was waiting for the right time to tell you. I understand. But after you started living with us, I noticed your change in attitude towards me. And you forced me to complete your chores for you, didn't you? So I decided that there's no need to tell someone so rude like you about my job. Plus, I knew that my parents and brother were telling you about me paying the rent. I thought they were covering for you, so I never believed what they told me about you. I don't look rich, do I? I usually only wear casual clothing, and I don't even buy stuff from famous brands. I stay at home all the time, so I understand you referring to me as a parasite living off my parents. No, I never meant to say that. But I don't think I depended too much on you or my parents to complete daily chores. I think I was pretty responsible about them, actually. You wanted me to leave the house considering your future baby, right? If I leave, there would be an extra room for the baby to use. My room was also the biggest room, so I understand. No, Jane, I was genuinely worried about you. I don't think so. I heard you complaining when my parents and my brother were away. If only Jane could leave, we'll have room for our newborn baby. I'm so sorry. I was just being sarcastic. I'm very, very sorry, Jane. I've been trying my best to maintain a good relationship with you, Claire. It was my bad that I didn't explain everything to you beforehand, but wasn't it you and my brother who asked if you can live with us in the first place? Yes. I regret everything I did to you, Jane, so please don't kick us out of the house. I'll do anything for you. I'll be in charge of all the house chores. How about that? Claire, I don't like it when people suddenly change their attitude. Like you said, I'm an unproductive human being who doesn't contribute to society. No, that's not true at all. Considering your monthly earnings, I bet you're paying a lot of taxes, so I no longer think you're unproductive, believe me. I believe you, and I accept your apologies, Claire. But I can't live with you anymore. Oh, by the way, my brother also told me that he would respect my decision. No way! I don't want to leave this house. This is my ideal home. I'm sorry, Claire. I don't think you can stay. I wish you and my brother the best of luck. If this is your ideal house, you could always rent something similar on your own. But it's too sudden. My husband told me to go back to my parents' house for a while. He said he wanted some time to rethink about our relationship and our future. Well, you kicked out your husband's sister, so his actions are understandable. I honestly think you deserve it, Claire. If you don't forgive me, our relationship might end up in divorce. I don't see a direct relation here. Your rude attitude and your action of kicking me out caused you to be in this situation right now. But your marriage issues are your and my brother's problem. I can't fix your relationship. That's not true! If you can talk to my husband, he might view our relationship positively again and go back to when we were a nice, intimate couple. I'm sorry, but no matter what you say, I won't take back what I said. When you just started living with us, you were respectful and kind. But then you started slacking off with housework, forcing me to complete your chores for you. And you never listened, even when my parents and your husband kindly tried to point out to you about your bad attitude. We don't need people who can't follow rules in this house. I swear I'll become a better person. Even if you did, I can't bear with you any longer. Honestly, you were the one who was dependent on your family. You should understand who really was the parasite to the family. After the incident, my brother kicked her out of the house, and she went back to her parents' house. At first, my brother wasn't planning to get a divorce. But when he showed her the new apartment the couple would live in, she threw a tantrum saying that she cannot bear to live in such a shabby house. So he chose to get a divorce. She was known to be a spender, and living with our family gave the couple some extra money to spend. But he seemed to have gotten tired with her spending habits that cannot be fixed even after he warned her not to spend too much money. Then she started pleading that she didn't want a divorce, and even visited our house crying, causing a scene in the house. My parents, annoyed with all the chaos she brought to the family, firmly rejected her plea, and my brother was able to successfully get a divorce. Our mansion seemed to be her ideal home where she always dreamed to live, so she had been uploading a lot of photos to her SNS accounts. My brother showed me her account where she had been continuing to upload her old photos taken in our house, and it was pretty creepy. She might be mentally ill right now, but I think she'll get better in the future when she runs out of photos to upload. Hopefully her obsession to our house fades, and I wish her a happy life away from our family. After the divorce, my brother started living alone, and he seems to enjoy his solo life away from his family. Living with our parents turned out to be a result of his wife's strong request, so he's currently enjoying his life to the fullest. I had a small chat with him when he visited us the other day, and he reflected that he learned a lot of things from his marriage with a bitter smile on his face. He also said that he was lucky to be able to discover his ex-wife's real personality at an early stage in his marriage. But the reason why his ex-wife became crazy was because I was single and lived with my parents. So I seriously thought about finding a partner for a while. But I realized that it's fate to meet the right person. It probably wouldn't turn out well if I pressured myself too much. I guess I'll try to go out more often and put some effort into meeting and interacting with new people.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.